the back seat. Check the back seat.
All right, come here.
Check the back seat.
Gets in your head, right? Good. Because every year, dozens of children are forgotten in the backseat of a car by a parent or caregiver. All never thought it could happen to them. But with changes in routines, distractions, or a sleeping child, it can happen to anyone. Parked cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. So get it in your head.
Check the back seat.
A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Crossover. Oh, killer crossover.
Just crossover. It just crossed him over nastily. Another victim to the crossovers. Cross him up and sit him down.
Time for the crossover, powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. John, Josh, and Joey.
Hello.
Are here. Hello, everybody.
Hello, Happer. Good
How-
afternoon.
How are you guys?
I guess we're under pressure now to make this one really good.
It's my first show of the year. I was out of town for almost 3 weeks.
Welcome back.
It's good to be back.
Joey.
That's right. That's the real news today. It's Joey's back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Joey actually was back the other night because he was my producer for the Villanova game.
Yes, people forget. I was producing a basketball game.
People
He
do
was.
forget. Now, I still haven't heard any of what John said about that Ty Davis foul, but I'm sure I could find it somewhere.
I got it.
Okay.
I got it.
It wasn't that. It wasn't. I mean, that was the one
It
time.
didn't go virus.
It didn't go virus.
He did post it in the second half highlights tweet.
Oh yeah, it
Perhaps
is.
I
It
didn't
is.
listen.
It
It's
is.
in
It
there.
is. It is in there.
I didn't listen.
It is in there. It's the one time I stood up only because I hadn't been standing for a long time, and well, I was mad.
But you weren't at the table, though, were you? You were.
No, we were up in the end zone.
Yeah, because I noticed that the people at the table were very close to each other.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I thought
we were
there's
actually,
no room for John there.
Yeah, we were in the end zone. It's kind of like the press section at, like PBA, for example. Except I bet there's room to actually walk behind people there at PBA. Is there? I've never
little.
actually sat in the press section at PBA.
Not much.
Well, there is even less at Villanova. So once I buried myself in the corner, I was stuck there.
You're in the Sam Hoiberg KRNU seat.
I was in the Sam Hoiberg.
Did you see the tweet from Rick Alloway?
No.
That was the most streamed thing on KRNU in the history of KRNU.
That makes sense.
It does.
Oh,
it definitely does.
That's bull crap. It was obviously Monday Night Sports Live, which existed before the internet.
Upon further review,
I don't
unless you would
know.
have lived in Iowa.
It could have been my DJ hour where I played a bunch of great alternative rock.
Nice.
It could have been that. There was like at least 2 people listening to that once.
Heck yeah.
I do remember doing a shift on that one time,
Uh-huh.
and I recognized none of the music
None of
I
the
was
songs.
playing. I was like, what is, I've never heard of any of this.
I went through the whole catalog and picked out like just bands that I had maybe tangentially heard of and tried to just rip those for an hour. It was great.
I was so desperate. I was actually looking for Nirvana, just thinking, well, here's something I might have heard of. It wasn't even there.
Hey, folks, smells
There's no Nirvana. No Nirvana.
By the way, Happer, so I
there's
opened
no
up the,
Huey Lewis in the news.
And by the way, it's always weird when you transition from whatever, weird 90s alternative rock was out there to, doing a newscast or whatever,
Yes.
Whatever rip and read stuff we had to do. It's like, this doesn't seem to fit very well.
so there's a bunch of texts that are basically like,
What do the texts say?
well, they're sad and mad at the same time. But also, I like this one from Alex in Omaha. Forgot to mention in my email one of my other favorite moments of the show when Connor set off a bomb by having the take that basketball was better than football. Amazingly funny to listen to that take in the aftermath of so many colors. That was hilarious when you did that. You're like, you need to acknowledge it.
Every March, I agree with that too.
You're safe in Indiana, but in Nebraska, no.
That was fun.
Well, you're probably not saving Indiana anymore.
Not anymore.
either.
They're playing for a trip to the Natty tonight.
That is true.
Trip to the Natty. There's
Are
their
we rooting
helmet.
for the Ducks or are we rooting for the Hoosiers?
Go Big Ten.
I'm rooting for Indiana. Who are you rooting for?
I don't know.
You don't like either of these two situations, do you?
Not really. I've never been an Oregon fan.
But what is it about Indiana that you dislike?
Oh, I've come around on Signetti. I respect the hell out of the guy.
because
Me
he's
and
the
John
best
are the
coach
same
in college
page.
football.
I think he is.
I'm a fan of him.
I mean, he's still cream puff curd. He still dodges teams in the non-conference, but
Not in the non-conference in the playoff, though.
well,
I guess this
that's
is a
'cause you
conference
can't.
game.
that's because you can't.
I was really hoping Ole Miss would win.
I was. Oh, I was
Just
definitely
for
rooting
just
for Ole
the
Miss.
whole Lane Kiffin storyline.
Oh
No.
yeah, that.
Yeah, I just thought it would be. I just thought it would be fun. Like they'd be I just thought it'd be funny. I don't know, and fun kind of. Miami is still Miami, even though they're sort of an underdog in this thing. Like Miami is still Miami.
Great storylines for the national championship, regardless of who plays Miami, because you got Cristobal facing his former team,
The Cristobal.
Oregon Ducks,
Mm-hmm.
or Mendoza's little reunion in Miami. He's from the area, right?
Is he?
I don't know.
I don't remember where Mendoza's from. All I know is
You might
this.
be right,
All I
Joey.
know is
I thought
this.
he's got family in the Miami
I
area.
think you might be right.
Will Miami ever play for a title that's not in their own home backyard?
He played high school in Miami. Good call.
Yeah, that's
Seriously.
embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
I mean, yes, I know they beat Nebraska in the Rose Bowl, but other than that, every other Miami national championship has been won in Miami.
they would have beat everyone in the Rose Bowl. So Nebraska, people should be thanking Nebraska for playing the sacrificial lamb that day.
That's
in
true.
2001.
Oh,
Because they were the one that was designated for murder.
Yeah,
they were.
it wasn't their fault.
All the euphoria
It's not
that
Nebraska's
It's not
fault.
Nebraska's fault.
all the euphoria that followed the selection of Nebraska that fateful day was immediately followed with, "Oh crap, we have to play Miami."
Yeah, there's a game and the other
Oh,
team,
but at least this time we'll have more fans than they will. And it didn't.
I
matter.
thought Nebraska was going to win. I was like, Miami almost lost to Virginia Tech. Nebraska
that-
will
So
be
the
fine.
bad take started when you were young.
Hey, back then, people always say I'm a hater now. I was a huge homer as a 13-year-old.
13-year-old Josh said Nebraska is going to beat Miami in the Natty.
I talked about it with a guy at my church. I was like, I think they're going to win. He's like, I do too.
Is that better or worse than me saying basketball's better than football?
Worse. Nebraska was down 30 whatever to 0 at halftime.
I agree.
Miami could have put up
They could have
whatever
made their
number they
score.
wanted. They actually played nice.
Yeah, they really did.
I mean, they played nice until who was it that got sawed in half at the end of the game?
From Miami.
No, from Nebraska. Remember, there was a huge hit late in
Was
the
it
game.
one of the white tight ends?
Was it Hasselbrook?
It might have been. Over the
But-
middle, right? Just got
But someone
killed.
just got murdered.
Not
And I
great.
thought we were gonna. I thought it was gonna be like Stand By Me. You want to go see a dead body?
Mm.
Nice, good reference.
What else are the people saying on the comments?
One of our listeners from St. Louis is like legitimately angry about this news. Not happy, but Nick from St. Louis.
Yeah, so I guess one thing that we should probably say is this is the final crossover in the afternoon with me on it. This is the final Connor Happer afternoon crossover. All the fun times that we have had.
Lots of memories.
Yeah.
All the
Which
good times we
means
could have
Lots of Happy
had.
New Year's.
Which means every Happy New Year from here on out on the Best of crossover will not feature Connor.
Will there even be any
Sad.
Happy New Year's anymore?
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah. Will
Oh,
there even
yes.
be Happy New Year's?
Uh-huh.
Oh, yes.
John email or text in, guys, my initial reaction after the first couple of shows was WTF. But I got to say, I've come to really, really, really tolerate you both. Big congrats.
That was
Wow.
John?
That was John without an H.
Yeah. Well, John, and then there's all the other people in the chat who say, or maybe it's that John Jacob Jingleheimer.
Not that
guy.
John. Yeah, that's not.
Okay, yeah.
guy.
That guy always says, I have learned to tolerate the crossover. He says that multiple times every day.
Oh, wow.
But tolerating is a great thing.
Hey, you'd rather that than the opposite.
Yeah.
402. This is to Josh. Josh, thank you so much for writing that. There's probably a lot of people that need to hear it more than you understand. Work can be a crazy place. That was quite emotional.
Indeed.
That was quite emotional.
Yeah.
Chris Montana, very brave tribute by Josh. Dan, amazing, Josh.
I know, but what are the people at the other radio station?
I was expecting Josh to come in with the acoustic guitar and play "I Will Remember" from The Office with Andy Bernard.
Oh, yeah.
Said his goodbyes to
The words.
staff.
Listen,
Yeah,
I just
got
want
it.
it to be known for the record that if Nebraska does lose their first game tomorrow against Indiana, that yes, it was because of that terrible hype speech.
That was the worst hype speech I've ever heard.
It's not good. It was not a good hype speech.
I ain't hyped now. I'm sad. I know we have to start a show with energy, but I'm sad.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Huh.
Josh.
Well, what are we going to do in the next 20 minutes to, really get you guys going?
I don't know.
We want to set you guys up for success.
Well, tomorrow there's two big football games after the big basketball.
After the
game.
big basketball games.
Did you ever think about that?
Yeah,
Civil War.
it's a big deal.
Oh, that's right. The Panthers
Panthers
and Rams fans.
I definitely remembered that.
I'm personally glad I'm not sitting in the studio with McMaster watching a third Packers-Bears game.
Yes. Yes.
I bet you're
That's
excited.
right, because you saw the first two.
You're right.
What are the odds
I
that the first two Bears Packers games feature the Bears Packers fans in this building in the same room together.
I am going to just be glaring at John the entire game because my Panthers, I want them to win so bad.
That you forgot when they were going to play.
Yes. I just
This
You're
is
gonna
worse
miss
than
it
me
because of
forgetting
the
last
Creighton
night's
game.
All
Connor,
I
I
want is for them to
guarantee
win.
Panthers and Packers NFC Championship game.
How much of the
Whoa,
game
I'm
are you
gonna
going to miss
guarantee it.
tomorrow, John? Are you going to record it and try to go blind?
No. I'll listen to JB Long on the way home.
Nice.
Catch the first half and then
Go from there.
should be home by second half, I would think.
That's good.
That's why we have
3:30, right?
That's why we have the radio.
We do have the radio.
Oh, I was listening to the Ole Miss radio call last night
Oh, were you?
How'd
How
that
was
go?
that?
on my way back from Lincoln in a sleet storm.
Oh, yeah. How'd that go?
The basketball game?
No, both, honestly.
No, the driving was fine. It wasn't frozen. So
It was just
nice.
rain.
Yeah,
I was
just
really
rain.
happy when I left work and it was still above freezing. I was
Yeah.
like, sweet. This is going to be pretty easy.
Yeah, it was like
and
30,
it was.
It was like 36. We
Took
were
like
good.
3 extra minutes.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
But yeah, the Ole Miss radio was funny because they all have accents, and
Oh, yeah.
they're pretty good homers, pretty solid stuff. They're all stepping all over each other because it's a chaotic situation, and it's like it's a college football playoff semifinal game. Nobody knows what to do.
How many people do they have?
It was just 3, and they would chime
Oh,
in.
just 3.
The sideline guy was the third, and he would chime in a lot.
Yeah.
He would be like, "I got something."
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I would
Mr.
listen.
Takes.
I listened to who were they playing? I was listening to Oklahoma. And Toby, who's a great guy. He's the voice of the Sooners. But
Toby Rowland?
Toby Rowland.
Friend of the Grum, I think.
I think they have like 5 guys. I mean, because it's the 2 guys in the booth, maybe even a third. Then they send it down to the field, and it's like a sideline guy. And I think they have a second sideline guy. And then the broadcast I was listening to, Bob Stoops just popped in.
Oh.
So he hung around for a while. So there's all these voices. And I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah, they
The
should.
good news is
identify
Stoops was easily
themselves.
the one picked out because he was the one that was making the most obvious points. I forgot how bad he was on television.
He was.
Remember when he took over for Herb when Sweet Baby Herbs went to Jacksonville?
Yep. Very milk.
He lasted, 1 year, and then he was...
Well, however long
Herb
Sweet
came
Baby
back.
Herbs.
Herb lasted
yeah.
10 games. That's right. So then
Yeah.
Herb came right back into the
Yeah,
onto TV.
yeah. Forgot how bad Bob Stoops was on TV.
Mm.
It was bad.
It was pretty terrible.
Very vanilla.
Yeah.
Very vanilla.
402 asks, are Connor and Gus Johnson going to be working together now?
What a question.
Holy
What
Chicago!
a question. I don't know. Need someone with. Nah.
LSD Will says,
say no.
LSD Will says, is Nick home recovering from a haircut? So what are we guessing's going on with old Nick? Was
I don't
he
know.
pooping
He-
himself?
He has an illness.
He has.
I have an illness.
Listen to the way that Joey says it.
Wait a minute.
What's up?
Do you actually know what's wrong with Nick?
No, he texted me saying he's sick from last night.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
He texted me this morning while I was doing the morning traffic for you guys.
What is?
He sent us a message. He's like, I'm not feeling very well. Papa, I don't feel so good.
He's just sick, right?
Yeah, I just think he was probably.
Mr. Stark.
I just figure he
I
had
don't feel so.
he had the big game feels in his tum tum about his coach getting fired, and so he was up puking his guts out.
Now
So-
I'm worried that Nerd Boy might go to Green Bay next year.
to be the head coach.
Joey, you're so Packers pilled
No,
all the time.
to be the offensive coordinator.
Oh, that's a good thing. He's a good run game coordinator. When he doesn't have to be in charge of the whole operation, that's like exactly what you want.
Well,
Joey.
anyone could be a good
he-
run game coordinator
just
when
a
you had
very-
CMC.
He's just a very quirky guy.
Are you
and I
ever
don't
not
like
thinking about the greater good of the Packers or the Celtics? Like, it feels like that's what everything comes back to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
him. I would say.
that pretty much tracks.
Do you want him to fire LaFleur?
Right now, it's not a good time to do such a thing.
Well, yeah, they're prepping
I'm-
for a playoff game.
I want them to replace the special teams coordinator and the associate head coach, Richard Bisaccia, which
Can't
the
believe he's
Packers
still
special
there.
teams is. Yeah, he's still
Oh, is
there.
that the dude that was with Oakland?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
the Raiders
the real,
interim.
the
yeah.
real goofy guy.
Yeah.
Rich Bisaccia.
Packers fans love telling people how bad their special teams is. That's like your
They're-
whole
they're-
kink.
Their protection is bad. Their formation, their return game is bad. Outside of that, the kicking is good. They got a great punter in Daniel Whelan, and what's his name? Brandon McManus is a great kicker.
Hmm.
Just they made some bad decisions to put him in midway through the season when he was dealing with the hamstring injury. They forced him to kick a 64-yard while injured against the Philadelphia Eagles on that Monday night.
That was a cold night.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool night.
Do you have a fun nickname for Rich Bisaccia?
Old Man Richard.
He always has nicknames for everybody.
Oh man, Joey, I was reading.
He has nicknames for refs. What
Yeah,
are your
ESPN had the preview of all of the games, and in each of the game previews, they had a ref nugget. And I was like, did Joey write this story? There was all these ref nuggets. This guy doesn't call penalties. This guy does.
Who is the one guy who you were making fun of last week? God, what game did he do?
Oh, Jeff Cervinsky,
Jeff Cervinsky,
the Big Ten official.
What'd you call him?
I don't think I called him. I
Okay.
called him names. I give those nicknames to NFL officials, like Cleet Blakeman's coin flipping Cleet, because he famously couldn't flip a coin in that Cardinals Packers
Yeah.
divisional round.
That's
game.
nicer than the nickname I've usually given him.
That's true.
Oh, I
John.
I gave
Be
Sean
careful,
Hockley.
John.
Yeah, John.
Be careful.
I
He
gave
might be
Sean-
listening to us.
Could
I
be
gave
listening.
Sean Hockley a nickname. I don't know if I can say that on the air.
Probably not. Probably just refrain. But I do love
Well-
Joey's nicknames.
yeah.
They're kind of Trumpian, which I enjoy.
Lion Ted.
Yeah.
Captain Clay Martin,
Coin.
charismatic
Coin
Greg
flip.
Bolstad.
Yeah, why did he get the coin flip designation? Every ref flips coins.
No,
But
he
he
explained
couldn't
it.
flip a
He
coin.
couldn't flip a coin.
Or did it just go straight up?
Yeah, just
Okay.
straight up in that divisional round game, Packers Cardinals in 2015.
The Hail Mary game?
Yeah, the
Oh,
double
man.
Hail Mary game,
Oh wow.
which led to the Larry Fitzgerald running around.
Uh-huh.
Larry.
How do you leave him wide open?
Oh wow. So I searched Khalid Blakeman coin toss, and the second story is NFL backs refs call on coin toss flap during Packers' loss to Cards. Wow, I don't remember this at all. I do remember that game though.
Packers postseason games are always a pain.
Yeah.
Just imagine tomorrow. Lose to the
Oh,
Bears.
man.
Yeah.
Even
And it's a
worse.
rubber match too. So you get the
That's
bragging
like
rights
that's
and
like the worst
playoff.
thing. That's going to be the worst thing if they lose to the Bears again.
Oh wow. My brother Luke, who will
The-
be
the-
at the Rams
the-
Panthers game.
The key is Jordan Love plays a full 4 quarters. He's undefeated against the Bears.
Well, let's see if he plays the whole 4 quarters.
He's got to play the whole 4 quarters.
Luke says, does John know his bestie Cleet is the ref for the Panthers Rams game?
He is.
Awesome.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah, I knew that.
Oh,
So
okay.
he's not listening. He's in Charlotte. He's in Charlotte.
My
Awesome.
brother will be in Charlotte tomorrow. Him and his wife are very excited.
Charlotte. What do we like Charlotte as a city? What do we
I think
of
they like
Charlotte?
it.
John, you went to Charlotte once.
I've been at the airport.
It's okay. I mean, I didn't see much of it. I literally saw the arena, the hotel, and the NASCAR Hall of
It
Fame.
looks like a bigger Omaha on TV. A couple buildings that are bigger, and that's really it. You know, it's like Des Moines, which is smaller than Omaha.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice there. It was cool. It wasn't great to be Virginia there. Also, it wasn't great to be Creighton there.
Mm.
Yeah.
That was then when they lost to Kansas State.
That's when they lost to K-State, and then the very next game, UMBC upset
Oh.
Virginia.
But you were emo, so you went back to the hotel and you missed it, right?
No, I left to go get something to eat, and went to a diner that was in between the hotel and the arena, and the game was on. I'm like, oh my god,
That's
this is
crazy.
happening.
Can you imagine being in the building for that thing? That'd have been sweet. That'd have been
Well, it actually was.
It actually wasn't
was really
sweet.
sad right away
because it was
Creighton-
like crap. This could have been.
That's
our-
when they had
yeah,
gone to
could have been our
Sweet 16
Sweet
yet.
Creighton get a
16.
free
True.
pass to like the Elite Eight.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because then Kansas State. So who did they play in the?
Somebody else crappy.
Yeah, now I gotta find it.
Or maybe somebody bad or somebody that Creighton had beat already.
What season was it?
This is 2018. I'm looking it up
2017,
right now.
18.
Yeah.
That was the year that Mo got hurt.
Okay, so Kansas State beat UMBC only by 7. Oh, but they did beat Kentucky. They beat them by 3 points.
Who was on the Kentucky team?
I don't know. I don't know who was on the 2018 Kentucky team. By the way, this was also the year that the final came to Omaha, and we got that insane Kansas Duke.
Oh God, I
That
remember that.
was a moment.
That was a great time.
I was there.
I was
I will
there.
never have seats as good as I had for a game as important as that one was.
Wow.
Trip to the Final Four, and I was essentially courtside.
I was on the moon. I was.
Oh, you guys
upstairs.
sent upstairs?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was I was next to Michael. Him and I chatted the whole time. It was so much
I
fun.
had a great angle for Grayson Allen missing that shot.
That was right in front of me.
Awesome.
I was right in the nosebleeds for that.
Wow, you were there too.
Yeah, I was
Did you
there.
go to that too, or did you
No,
stay
I
in-
watched it at home.
You stayed at home.
I watched it at home.
Understandable.
Well, I don't think I
there to
had.
be
I
like
don't think I
Grayson
had a
Allen.
credential anyway. I don't think.
You did because we went to the game on. At least I know we went to the Friday game.
So
Friday
Maybe.
game.
I don't remember.
SGA
Yeah.
was on that Kentucky team. PJ Washington,
Wow.
Kevin Knox the second.
Oh, Stib says I was there. Wow, that's incredible.
Okay, now everyone's claiming to be there. This is like
Everybody
this
was
is
there
like
except
Jets
for John.
Colts Super Bowl. I was there at Super Bowl 3,
Omaha's a small town. Maybe everybody was there,
except for John.
except for John,
Yeah,
who
but
lives in Lincoln.
but I live in Lincoln.
Yeah,
so-
Stib says Josh and I talked to Baz courtside before the game. I remember that. I remember having a conversation. Hey, you're Chris Basnet. Nice to meet you in the flesh. Because I never met him
Baz.
before.
I remember Baz.
Mm-hmm.
Seen Baz in a while.
Hope he's doing well.
I'm sure he's doing fine.
See him on Twitter from time to time.
Yeah, he's tweeting Nebraska ball stuff
He is. And then high school.
in high school.
Pretty cool.
It is cool.
Wow, this wasn't as memorable. It's just kind of a
No.
crossover. huh?
Yeah.
I guess maybe good to end
I
on.
don't even think it was good.
Wow. Crappy boo year.
Yeah.
It is what it is. You know,
What's up?
the silliness of all of this. I mean, the fact that now Miami has 2 bowl trophies, and Oregon and Indiana, someone's going to have 2 bowl trophies.
John,
It's so dumb.
this was my first thing that I thought of when the playoff expanded. Is like you could potentially win a bowl game and lose the national, and lose another bowl game,
Correct.
or win another bowl game.
Mm-hmm.
It's so weird.
Like imagine if
This
Nebraska
is my
was
1990s brain.
Imagine if Nebraska got good and they got to participate in multiple rounds of bowl games, and then you went to the championship practice facility and you look around at all. It's like 95 Orange Bowl, 96, like all these things, and then it's like 2024, 2024, 2024. It's like that's not cool. That's weird.
It's really odd.
Yeah.
Home sites,
Well,
please.
the Fiesta Bowl and the Orange Bowl and the Cotton Bowl all in one year.
Yeah, congratulations.
Super odd.
Yeah, it's really
That'll be
strange.
cool when the NFL starts giving out. Here's your divisional round trophy.
Oh, that'd be exciting.
Here's your wild card weekend trophy.
Get everybody up on the stage.
Everyone gets to be on the stage.
Well,
You know,
didn't
Cristobal
Nickelodeon
gets to be triggered.
didn't Nickelodeon give out trophies when they were starting to do their little super wild
Slime
card games?
Probably.
Mitchell Trubisky got a trophy even though his team lost to the Saints.
Awesome.
Well, they did. I mean, they do the goofy thing for Thanksgiving.
player-
They do
player
the
of the
goofy
game,
thing
yeah.
for
Christmas
Christmas.
now. Yeah.
Didn't the Cowboys get some like tomahawk ribeyes or something for beating Washington
Yeah.
on Christmas?
Oh, yeah,
and,
they did.
and
They
Dak
had
got
the
a big
the-
Santa
the-
coat.
The big robes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It looked really nice. Those robes looked
They
awesome.
look very warm.
Jerry
Very
immediately confiscated him and said, "We're putting these in trophy case."
I
I'd
thought
like
he was
to
going to
eat a
sell them to
big-
maybe pay
Well,
some people.
Would
Probably
you like
that
to eat
too.
a big steak in a big rope?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I think
sure.
I would too.
Poll question.
I mean,
It's-
it's very comfortable, I'm sure, and the steak, I'm sure, is very good.
Yeah, I bet.
'Cause I'm guessing Netflix spared no expense.
They eat it like barbarians, though. They don't give them a fork and a knife. They
Yeah.
just-
Well, I
On
mean, that's the whole
Thanksgiving-
point of the tomahawk ribeye. It's got a hand.
On Thanksgiving Day, Dallas did the CBS game and they had the turducken type situation. He ran into the locker room with it on his hand, and
oh
then
no,
guys were like taking bites out of it. It was very strange.
that's the turkey's butt.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Yeah.
the turkey.
He was fisting the turkey. It was very strange.
Emmett Smith's fist of the turkey.
Exactly. It was very strange. It was very strange.
Larry Allen's fist of the turkey.
Mm.
Yeah, well, it's
Boom.
it's one of those things. It's there's so many goofy gimmick trophies now, and
There are
they kind of feel less special.
trophies, participation trophy.
No, I
culture.
regret missing last night. Apparently, the trophy presentation, Cristobal was very triggered.
Yeah, Cristobal was trying to get extra people off the stage and
Seemed
players
triggered in the-
on.
Yeah,
He
Triggered
was
in
like,
the
get all
post-game
these
interview.
extra people
yeah.
out of here.
Get the who was the sponsor? Was it Tostitos? Who was
Verbo.
No, Verbo.
Oh,
This is
Verbo.
for all the Verbos.
Yep. So they were all wearing their Fiesta Bowl jackets, and they were like, "Get all these people out of here! Make room for the players." It's like, dude, that's not how it works. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like, there's gonna be a bunch of extra people.
Apparently, Cristobal's not been used to winning before.
Guess not.
Well, that's
Well,
all
and
right.
you saw the thing with him and the coach who was hugging him, and he's like, "Get away from
Yes,
me!"
get off my back.
After Beck scored the touchdown.
And you know what? That
That
take
was-
aged very well.
Yes, it did.
Because Ole Miss was suddenly at the 30-yard line.
Exactly.
Oh
No,
my gosh.
that was actually the right thing to do. It's like,
Uh-huh.
hey, we're going to celebrate. Nope, you're not.
No,
Not yet.
Mhm.
pass
not
interference or not?
I mean, it was.
Would you like it? Would you like it to be called?
Sure. I mean, if it's pass interference, it's pass interference.
Mm.
It should have been called. I'm not mad about it, but yeah, it should be called.
Yeah, I did think it was uncatchable, but yeah, he tackled him.
I don't think it was uncatchable.
You know?
No.
Well, I mean, we just saw the Miami dude make the incredible catch. that didn't count. 'cause he
Holy
was
smokes.
Out of bounds.
What a catch.
We were that close to having two amazing catches. I mean, there was the Puka catch on Thursday Night Football.
Ah, that would have been
Oh,
great.
yeah.
Oh, God, it would have been great. And then, nope, it wasn't a catch.
Yep.
Crap.
Oh, the Monday
Or
night.
no, Monday Night Football.
Monday night.
Monday Night
But then, yeah,
Falcons.
last night's was like, wait a second. What?
His foot actually got
Such a
there.
bummer.
what?
He did what? How about that news that Al's back? Al's
Again.
back next
He's
year.
going to be 112 next year.
He's going to be, he's like, you think I'm bored now?
I am not looking forward to listening to tomorrow's game.
Uh-huh, that's
with-
a-
Oh,
That's
that's
Herb
right.
Street.
It's going to be an out.
It's a
Al
prime
and Herb
game.
Street. It's so funny listening to Herb Street do college and then do pros. He is like so much more engaged on college.
I know.
He looks like he's happy. And then they put him in that booth and it's like, hey Al, remember the Miracle on Ice? You want to tell us that story again?
I know. It seems
It's
like
so
everything
uncomfortable.
devolves back into,
You're older than me.
hey, Al, tell me about this. And then it's like, yeah. And it's like, oh, cool. This is really good.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. That's right.
Kirk gave that whole impassioned speech last night to Van Pelt, and I've never heard him anywhere close to that passionate about
What did he
it.
say? I missed this.
He was like, all the people who are trying to build a team with the transfer portal
with the
and
5
spend a
stars.
bag on stuff. Remember, you got to build a team. And he just kept on saying it over and over. And he wouldn't stop. Like Fowler was trying to jump in, and he just kept going and going. He's like, everybody knows this, Kirk. But he was like yelling about it.
Awesome.
And I've never heard him that passionate about the NFL at all, ever.
Interesting.
Well, it's because they don't have a thing called the transfer portal in the NFL.
I bet
guess
he
there's
is.
It's a little
no
more
issues in the
buttoned down
NFL.
in the NFL.
I bet he is so pumped to get to like 11 o'clock Central tomorrow because then
Yeah.
he is done with the
Done
NFL.
with the NFL.
He certainly loves that paycheck, but I don't think he loves the game very much.
I think Al is at the point where he fears that he's going to die if he doesn't keep working. And that's why he keeps.
He's going to pull a Bear Bryant.
Yeah.
Kind of like Lee Corso
like-
just kept working.
I just got to keep
But
working.
he's still alive,
Yeah,
Joey.
he's still alive.
All
He's
right,
still
just
alive.
wanted to make
He's
sure
still
everybody
alive.
knew.
Lee Corso has outlasted Bear Bryant. Yes.
Yeah, Bear Bryant, it was like a month.
Yeah, it was very soon.
Very fast.
Very soon. And it was and same with Joe Pa.
Joe Pod died right away.
Yes, he did. Wow.
Though that may have been the devil saying, yep, it's over now. Remember that whole bit about getting that call against Nebraska? Well, I'm coming to get my payback. Oh, and by the way, thanks a lot for harboring that one guy.
Oh my gosh. Satan.
What a call.
What a monster.
Well, I mean, Satan is a monster.
he is. But that's
Bad dude.
the worst of the worst.
Or woman.
Or woman.
You know, we say it a
Wow.
lot. We say it a lot. I mean,
God could be a
There's
woman.
Mr. in the
Yeah.
Why
glass.
can't Satan be a woman?
exactly. Why can't Satan be a woman?
Satan's a pretty bad guy or a girl.
Or woman.
Mhm, exactly.
Or non-binary.
Exactly. Could be anything. You never know what Satan's up to these days.
That's right.
Okay.
All right, Happer.
Well, that was
I'm going to miss the Connor Happer show. It was a great show.
yeah.
Oh, and it lasted longer than shit could
It did.
People forget.
It did.
We'll remind them for the rest of time.
Uh-huh.
I look forward to the Connor Happer show Heard At podcast coming soon.
Awesome.
Well, after about a 4 or 5-year layoff.
It'll be the show that'll play all the John Bishop drops.
No,
It's
it's
true.
funny.
Yes.
It's funny. Oh, that's a great
Yes.
call. Yeah. By the way,
Somebody's got to do it.
before you leave, there was that really funny tweet. Did you see the tweet, John, from Stibbs about the news of today? Where he-
Yes.
Did you see the tweet from Stibbs? Excited for Connor Happer's new venture now that the Happer show is over. The hats make a lot of sense now, and it's Connor Happer
Oh.
on Yacht Rock 1180.
That's right.
Listen
I am
anytime.
Captain Crash.
By the way, I had someone call me today. I won't out this person, but had someone call me today asking about, 1180.
Oh,
He enjoys the Dan Patrick show and
not on there. He doesn't.
said, yeah, when's that Christmas crap coming off so I can hear Dan Patrick? And I said,
The Christmas,
well, it's not Christmas crap anymore. It's Yacht Rock.
Christmas crap is
Oh,
long
no.
gone.
Yeah, I'm
Uh-huh.
sorry.
Uh-huh.
I'm sorry.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Sorry.
But maybe if
Sorry,
Dan,
anonymous person.
maybe if Dan Patrick puts out some Yacht Rock songs, maybe he will be back on.
Or
1180.
sing some Christmas music.
If
Next
Dan Patrick came out with a
jingles.
Christmas song, we'd probably play it.
We would have. It's now not Christmas.
next year.
Yeah. For
Yeah,
sure.
it's not Christmas anymore.
Have you taken down the lights yet? Sorry, we got to go. Never mind.
Bye.
All right. See you later,
All right,
Happer.
there he goes. Connor Happer, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
And there thus ends a long history of crossovers.
See you later.
Crossovers are going nowhere.
But you are, and so we'll never talk to you again.
Yeah.
See you later.
Brought to you by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. Don't ask us what's happening. We don't know either. 1620 the zone.
K-O-Z-N. Unsportsmanlike conduct on 1620 The Zone. Husker Athletics, Creighton, and yes, UNO. Don't miss a moment, they'll give you your fix. They're on every day from 2 until 6. Spend your afternoons with John, Josh, and Nick. John, Josh, and Nick. They'll show you what sports talk really is.
We are not going anywhere.
Nothing's changing.
I'm here.
And Joey is here.
And Joey is
but
here.
where's Nick?
Where
Ooh.
is he?
Nick is gone.
Mm-hmm.
On Sportsmanlike conduct on 1620 The Zone. Husker Athletics, Creighton, and yes, UNO.
Yep. Sorry, anonymous message board trolls. The show you hate the most isn't going anywhere.
We're still here.
That we know of.
Yeah. No, we're good.
Welcome, everyone, to the Grum
Hello.
on a Friday. It's so much better today. My God, even though it's chilly outside, it's still just seeing the sun. Wrigley was miserable last night.
Mm-hmm.
Wrigley, by the way, is scared of the fireplace.
Really?
Our fireplace hasn't been working. It's a gas fireplace.
Sure.
It hadn't been working for a while. And the wife was like, I want this. I want this. Finally got it. She turns it on. The dog freaks out. Not a fan. Not sure why. She senses something. It's like a disturbance in the force or something. And she's like running around. She very rarely barks in the house. And of course, you couldn't let her outside because it was freaking raining.
Yeah, Banks kept wanting to go outside last night.
Yeah. I mean, I would
relax.
take her outside and, she'd do her business and we'd immediately come back in.
Mhm.
But as far as like letting her out and letting her stay out for a little while, no. Wasn't gonna
You
happen.
went out every time.
Well, yeah, when we go out when it's just like, all right, we're going to go out and pee.
Oh, so to kind of put pressure, it's like somebody standing over your shoulder, like you
Not
need
really
to get to it.
No, we have this deal. So I let her out in the front and I walk out with her.
Mm-hmm. Oh, interesting. Because you guys have a backyard with a fence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we will let her out in the back, but like at night, you want that last pee before bedtime.
Oh yeah, important pee.
I will walk with her out in the front yard to make sure that she does it, and she does.
Mhm.
And then we go back in the house and go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
And when it rains, like it did last night, same thing. It's just like, I don't want to just open the door to the backyard, let you out there, and then you soak, or, she
Sure.
ends up spending it all under the deck, and it's a little muddy under there, and she brings in a bunch of trash.
It's so easy with cats because you don't have to bring them outside. They're just in there.
Yeah, but they're also cats.
Yeah.
They don't
and then-
appreciate you. They don't love you. They just look at you and go.
Well, it's dependent on how you treat them.
That's true.
Well, as an owner of both, yeah, there is a difference. But
Oh yeah, for sure.
yeah. So just glad we got the sun. It's better. It's
nice outside.
We're in
It's
good shape.
doable.
We're in good shape.
It is indeed.
The Grum Down 26. Brought to you by the referees at John Higgins Weather Guard. Oh, look, Miami gets another home title game.
The price of this national championship game, I have to imagine, is going to rival some of the all-time expensive national championship games.
I don't know if it will.
Well,
Miami fans are not great.
but it's so close,
It is, yeah.
and I mean, it's literally their stadium. But also, Indiana is happy to spend money if they
Oh,
win tonight,
yeah.
and then Oregon.
Sure.
Well, I mean, one of the participants will have never won a natty yet, and so they're going to want to be there if they could.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? So it's going to be pricey. It's going to be pricey.
I don't know if it'll be driven up by the Miami fans, all 7 of them. By the way, congrats to my brother-in-law. He's very happy.
Oh, congrats, John's
He-
brother-in-law.
He's a big
Carla's husband.
Yeah, he's
Oh, man, that's
he's a
awesome.
big Canes fan.
Mm.
Big Canes fan. And a big Steelers fan. So he's got a very stressed. His weekend's only half stressed.
Go
out.
Texans. Go Texans.
1620 the analytics. We'll look at Hoosiers Ducks too. I realize that They never made a sequel to Hoosiers, but they did make a sequel to Mighty Ducks.
Mm.
And I never saw either one of them. Saw Hoosiers.
Because they're kids' movies, and you were not a kid anymore.
No.
Those are classics.
NFL Wildcard Weekend. Aaron Schatz is going to be joining us in moments from FTN Fantasy.
Nice get, Nick.
Who's not here?
Who's not here to take the victory lap.
I'll take the credit.
Thank you. Nice get, Joey.
Joey.
Excellent job, Joey.
Joey, I think there might be a bright future for you.
I think so, too.
Kent's Movie Club. Mountainhead.
John's pick.
It was.
Joey.
No, I had to.
No, I know. I was just going to say, Joey has probably not watched this movie.
I've not watched it.
You're not missing much.
Appreciate the breakdown.
Dix equals defense.
Mm.
Michael Severe, congratulations. We're talking about your favorite, Josh Dix,
Oh, that's exciting.
among other things. Phase 1 is done. We will look at the numbers.
Yikes.
It's pretty low around here.
Mm-hmm.
We've got predictions and a cross-strain one beer Friday.
Heck yes.
Yeah, he's actually coming back. Washington's quarterback.
We talked about it yesterday, and you were like, no way. And then it happened.
I told you, Pete crazy hasn't ended.
Pretty wild.
It's going to get crazier.
Pretty wild.
And we are doing a Super Friends, right? I know Jack's
Yeah.
had a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
So we are. Okay.
Yeah.
Super Friends Roundtable today.
Oh, I'll send it to him right now.
402-951-1620 is the hotline powered by Prairie Flower Casino. You can also win those $100 gift cards to Prairie Flower Casino. Just visit 1620thezone.com. Click on the linkity link. Give those away every week. Sometimes we give away more than we're supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
that's usually the case.
Yeah. Twitter at USC 1620.
Oh, yeah.
JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. And the Equitable Bank Zone inbox. At Equitable, we take banking personally and answer the phone on the first ring. Mark says, I missed the announcement because I was in a meeting. Can you enlighten me?
Connor Happer Show is done.
That I missed it too, apparently.
Yeah, I did too. I walked in and they were like, we just announced that the show is done. I said, what happened?
We walked in and Josh was singing the Andy Bernard, I Will Remember You.
Uh-huh. And then, hey, in all seriousness, if you have not missed the last segment of their show, I highly recommend going and checking it out. Very emotional. Very good. Very emotional. Very good.
Terrible hype speech.
I didn't even want to look in John's eye because if I see John start to cry, I think that something like I'm worried because I don't think you cry.
Well, I didn't cry here either.
Yeah, no, because you're not.
I was pissed off. It was like I thought this was going to be the Huskers, Nebraska ball hype speech.
Yep, and instead it was the show's over. And
Indiana by 45 tomorrow, kids. Just bank it right now.
Uh-huh.
No way Fred can play that in front of a mixed audience.
No, he definitely cannot.
Let's see. Oh, that's right. Equitable Bank inbox. That's where I got the email that I just read. It's John at 1620thezone.com, Josh at 1620thezone.com. Equitable. Take banking personally and answer the phone on the first ring. Fine game last night. Fine game. It was fun to watch.
Yeah, it was awesome. Miami, it was one of those games where they dominate, and yet the score shows that they have not dominated. When they started the fourth quarter and they put up the graphic for time of possession,
that was
and
crazy.
it was 33 minutes and change for Miami versus 11 minutes and change for Ole Miss. And then they're like, but look at the score. Because Miami dropped, I believe, is it 4 interceptions that they dropped? And a couple of them, they could have turned into, at the very least, yards and who knows, maybe something bigger than that. And so I've watched football for a while. You've watched football for a while. When you see a game like that, how often does the team that is dominating everywhere but the scoreboard lose? And I thought, wow, this is setting up for a classic one of those. And when Ole Miss scored with the limited time they did, I thought, wow, it's definitely setting up for one of those. I did not think that Carson Beck played very well last night, but he made some nice throws at the end, and certainly he had the touchdown run when everybody went to one side of the end zone and it was all open.
88 plays.
Wow. Crazy.
Miami ran 88 plays
Mm-hmm.
to Ole Miss's 60. And most of those, I think, were in the fourth quarter.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because they went into the quarter. Gosh, I wish I remember the number of plays. It was a very
very, very, very low number.
Yeah.
A very low number. So,
yeah.
Miami going back to the title game.
Mm-hmm. First time since the 2002
Just what
season.
we expected.
Crazy.
All you honks out there, your SEC honks, your
No,
Big
that's
Ten
you.
honks,
You're the SEC honk.
and you're the Big Ten honk.
Well, rightfully so. They're a good conference that keeps winning national championships, and they're going to
With dumb
again.
ideas and terrible people.
Sure, but they keep winning on the field. That's what you should care about the most is the on the field stuff. Who
well, I
cares
do
about
care
the-
about who wins on the field, and that's why we're all going to be chanting ACC, ACC,
I don't believe
ACC.
I don't believe we'll be chanting that.
Go ACC.
Man, it's wild how much you just hate this league. They have really gotten into that craw of yours.
I hate the Big Ten. Absolutely.
I know. Yeah, it's just
There's nothing wrong with hating evil.
no. I just don't know when this happened or why it happened. but
I've hated the Big Ten since I was little.
Winning.
yeah,
And then-
maybe that's
And
what
then-
it is.
No,
They-
it has nothing to do with the winning. It has to do with all the dumb ideas and the stupid things they do and how they're trying to kill college sports. That's what it has to do with. That's what it has to do.
But you're good with the SEC. That's always
No,
the
I'm not
interesting
good
part.
with the SEC. They're trying to kill it too.
But you keep honking for them. You were honking for Ole Miss last night. You were saying
I was
go
honking for
SEC.
Ole Miss because I wanted Ole Miss to win.
You were chanting
not because of the
SEC.
SEC.
Just so they
I wanted Ole
refuse
Miss.
to give Lane Kiffin the ring.
Yes,
That would've been funny.
That would be hilarious.
That would have been pretty fun.
Ole Miss has kind of grown on me. Plus, that's Eli's school.
Jimmy writes, when did John start hating Nebraska? I'm just going to ignore what you said there. When did you start hating Nebraska? When did that happen? When did Steve Peterson do this stuff? Like, 05. So it's been about 20 years, Jimmy? 21 years now?
I hate everything.
You do hate everything. There's a drop in the system somewhere that says, I hate everybody.
I hate
and that's
everybody.
John.
I don't hate our next guest.
Absolutely not.
He'll be joining us next. Aaron Schatz, FTN Fantasy, will preview NFL Wild Card Weekend.
Nice.
On 1620 The Zone. 1620 The Zone is your home for the NFL playoffs. And boy, do we got a full slate this weekend. 2 games Saturday, 3 games Sunday, and a game on Monday night. It is Wild Card Weekend. And here to help us preview the opening weekend of the NFL playoffs, we like to check in about once every couple of months with FTN Fantasy's Aaron Schatz, who joins us in the stream today. Aaron, happy Wild Card Weekend to you.
Happy Wild Card Weekend. I think we finally moved on from calling it Super Wild Card Weekend. I think we now accept that it's always going to have 6 games, and therefore it's just Wild Card Weekend.
Yeah,
I noticed that this week too. That the Super has been dropped from any sort of promotion.
Yeah, and it sounds better this way.
It does indeed,
because that's what it is. Because it's really super to not be in the wild card game because you get a week off.
That's definitely true.
But that's neither here nor there. Speaking of that, I wanted to start with this first, Aaron, because all season long, if you've been following, and by the way, ftnfantasy.com is where you can see a lot of the information we're talking about. But in your DVOA, which is your formula to determine power rankings, essentially, the Rams and the Seahawks have not only rated in the top 2, but they have rated among the best teams as far as your numbers go back to 1978. I mean, we've had other seasons in the past. You think back to the 90s when the Niners and the Cowboys were clearly the top 2 teams in the league. How does this compare to other seasons when you have 2 teams performing at this high a level historically in the same year?
Yeah, there aren't a lot of these. It's very strange. My numbers have had these historically great teams for the last 3 or 4 years that haven't won the Super Bowl. The few years before that, there were no teams that were anywhere near that good. So I don't know whether Seattle or the Rams can sort of break that curse and actually win the whole thing. Obviously, they can't meet in the Super Bowl because they're in the same conference. And for all we know, they're going to meet next week. If Philadelphia and Chicago take care of business and the Rams beat the Panthers, the Rams would go to Seattle for the divisional round. So, other advanced stats have things a lot closer, but mine definitely have the Rams and Seahawks far ahead.
Aaron, speaking of the Panthers, you had this on social media earlier this week that 5 of the bottom 6 teams in DVOA history, which goes back to 1978, that made the playoffs, won their first playoff game. Now, none of them did get past the divisional round, but think of teams like the Beastquake Seattle Seahawks team, for example, among this group. What explains that to you, that these teams that we watch that are horrible in the regular season get a home game and then they find their way on into the second round of the playoffs?
I mean, the first is that they're at home. The second is random stuff happens. And the third is just each game has a particular story, right? There were like the Houston playing the Raiders with a backup quarterback. They had like their 3rd string quarterback was like Connor Cook or something. That was a few years ago. It was those kind of games. But what it goes to show you is that just because the Panthers are the worst of the playoff teams does not mean they have no shot this week. Although I think people realize that because they already beat the Rams in a huge upset. It just required a lot of things to go right for them, like a couple of 4th down touchdowns.
And I was going to ask you about that. Does that earlier performance kind of affect the way that you see this game, or does that even make it less likely that the Panthers can win the rematch because the Rams know, hey, if we just button up these couple of things, we're going to be fine?
I don't think it makes much of a difference to the rematch, except that I think that it makes you worry about the precipitation because Stafford has a history of having problems on rainy days. And it was a rainy day the first time these teams played in Carolina, and it's supposed to be a rainy day on Saturday also.
Aaron, looking at the night game tomorrow, I imagine that you have spoken multiple times this year about Chicago's defense, turnovers, and the sustainability or lack thereof that is going to have. I wonder, when you look at them and specifically this matchup with Green Bay, how much of that is, propping up whatever their defensive rating is, because it's not very good. How much has that helped them, I guess, obviously get to this point, but also what could it mean tomorrow and beyond, given that now we are in truly a 1 game per week season and everything could change?
Yeah, I mean, it's no doubt that it has absolutely helped them get here, and that turnovers are harder to predict than just yards and first downs. Yards and first downs are more predictive of the future. And I think that Vegas understands that because the Packers are actually favored in this game, even though the game is in Chicago. I believe the Packers are currently favored by 1.5 points. So even though the Packers defense has really struggled, especially since Micah Parsons got injured, the Bears defense is not that great. And I think they see the Packers offense as better with Jordan Love as better. I mean, Caleb Williams is good, certainly much improved over last year, especially when it comes to taking sacks. Ben Johnson seems to have fixed the clock in his head, which is really good. But the Green Bay offense was better this year.
Talking with Aaron Schatz of FTN Fantasy. How does DVOA see teams like the Bears on defense who maybe aren't great in terms of what they give up, but they're very opportunistic and they get a lot of turnovers? Is there a correlation between maybe their numbers don't necessarily match their output?
Yeah, it matters. Turnovers matter, but they're less predictive. They're predictive, but they're less predictive. So I actually dial the weight of turnovers down compared to some other advanced stats. If you look at like expected points added, turnovers are super important. So I dial that down because in order to be more predictive, you want to measure yards and first downs more.
Aaron, the other side of the matchup, I was a little surprised when I was looking at the weighted DVOA numbers that the Packers are still actually ahead of the Bears in recent weeks, given that, I mean, both teams had fallen off. In particular, the Bears have lost their last two, but the Packers have really fallen off. And a lot of that, of course, is the injuries that they have had, going back to Kraft at tight end, and then, of course, all the way through Micah Parsons. How different, I guess, what does their line graph looked like over the course of this season? Because there were points where people were like, this is a true blue contender. And obviously now that's not really the case.
They've had a lot of these inconsistent losses where they played all right and lost. You know, they haven't had these like big losses where they were really terrible. And I tend to look more long-term, right? Like the last 5 games have full strength and the couple before that have mostly full strength. And the Packers' decline has really been like 3 or 4 weeks because of Parsons and because of other injuries. And then, Love was out. And then last week, they just didn't play their starters. So last week doesn't even matter. Don't even think, they basically just had Clayton Tune handing off every day. So that gave every play. So that doesn't matter at all. So if you look a little longer term, they've had cornerbacks going in and out of the lineup all year. They've had wide receivers going in and out of the lineup all year, but they, got Jaden Reed back and they got Christian Watson back. So the offense has been better. It's just the last couple of games. Missing Parsons is a very big deal.
Aaron Schatz joining us from FTN Fantasy. By the way, the write-ups for this weekend's games are up on the website, and reading the one on the third NFC game this weekend, the 49ers at the Eagles, reminds me that despite Kyle Shanahan's offensive acumen, his kryptonite has been Vic Fangio, and that's the matchup we get once again. The Niners are getting healthier. Trent Williams may be back. They were even talking about Fred Warner running around. Not that he's going to be back, but just the fact that he's actually being able to be mobile, given how bad that injury was a few weeks ago, is quite amazing. But what has it been about these one-sided matchups that have favored Fangio so much against Shanahan? And do you anticipate that's going to happen again on Sunday?
Well, one of them was Purdy got hurt. But yeah, Fangio's defense is very good at not letting the guys get wide open. The other thing is he's very good at covering tight ends. So that takes out Kittle as an important part of the San Francisco offense. The Eagles have been susceptible to running backs as receivers. So McCaffrey can do damage, but Kittle probably won't do as much damage. And, Fangio's viewpoint is usually go ahead and run on me as long as you can't complete passes deep. And since the 49ers haven't been a great running team this year, it's sort of like, all right, so yeah, we'll let them run a little bit and they'll still end up on third down. So, it's interesting because it's a real strength against strength, great coaching, great players. And on the other side, it's, the offense that can't shoot straight versus the dudes that just got pulled off their couch.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, Aaron, about that because the Eagles offense has been so bad, so inconsistent this year, a ton of 3-and-outs, but the 49ers defense, they've been terrible as well. Meanwhile, the 49ers offense has been good, especially late, barring the game against Seattle last week. And of course, we know about Philadelphia's defense. Like who has like slight edges in each of those sides of the ball?
The Eagles have the edge because their offense has players. Like it's stagnant and they're not running screens and they're not using motion. And you're like, why are they not doing these things that help you? But in the end of the day, they have players, right? They've got stars. They have guys that can do things, and they're getting probably Lane Johnson back at right tackle, whereas the 49ers are like their stars are all on injured reserve. And maybe Fred Warner can be back if they make it to the championship game, the conference championship, but that's 2 weeks from now. And they're like pulling Eric Kendricks off his couch, and Kazir White played one game for like Tennessee and this year, and he hasn't played otherwise this year, and he's going to be playing in this game. And they're just pulling guys and hoping to get something out of them, and that definitely gives the Eagles an edge.
Aaron Schatz of FTN Fantasy joining us on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone hotline. The Patriots have been a very polarizing story. You either believe that they are really, really good, or they're really good at taking advantage of an historically weak schedule. Even when you look at your numbers and you put the weighted DVOA, which maybe takes some of the emphasis away from the beginning of the season, can also tell quite a polarizing story about the Patriots. I'm curious what New England's numbers tell you about historically what kind of a run they might be in store for.
So first of all, they have the third easiest schedule since 1978. Wow. But the only two teams with easier schedules both made the Super Bowl. The 91 Bills and the 99 Rams, who won the whole thing. So you can be dominant with an easy schedule if you dominate that easy schedule. And that's the other thing about the Patriots. For the first half of the year, they didn't. They were beating bad teams close. Now they're stomping on bad teams. So I have this rating called weighted that lowers the weight of the early season compared to the full season. The difference between weighted and full season for the Patriots is the biggest of any playoff team ever. That's how much hotter they've been late in the season compared to early in the season, when their two worst games by my numbers were the first two games of the season.
It's because to that point, you mentioned the Rams were in there, the 99 Rams. They were curb stomping teams from the jump, right? Including like the 49ers at the beginning of that season. Whereas the Patriots, to your point,
took a little bit to get going.
They lost to the Raiders. You're like, well, what's going on?
Played their food against the Falcons.
Exactly. But then turned it on when they did, and certainly would seem to suggest that a good playoff run could be in them. But on the other side of it, the Chargers, I'm curious what you think about them, given that the injuries that they have fought through this year and still put together a pretty decent season.
Well, their offensive line is made of crepe paper. People are like, oh, the Patriots don't have a pass rush. It doesn't matter. Everybody has a pass rush against the Chargers this year because they already were weak on the interior of the offensive line. And then they lost their two really good offensive tackles for the year, right? Joe Alt played like 5 or 6 games. Slater played none. They're down to like Austin Deculus, and these guys are just terrible, especially up the middle. I think the Patriots have Barmore, and Milton Williams is back now, and they're going to make a mess of the Chargers offensive line. The Chargers defense has been very good. The Chargers defense has been much improved over the second half of the season. They've got great coverage, but they have weaknesses. Cam Hart is a weakness, and the linebackers are weaknesses in coverage.
The first game of the day on Sunday, Aaron, features Jacksonville and Buffalo. And there's a part of me that wonders if instead of being the Jacksonville Jaguars, that team with that resume was the Bills or the Patriots or the Chiefs, how different we would be talking about them at this moment in time, a.k.a. the can we trust them, even though they have one of the more impressive wins of the last month of the regular season, going into Denver and doing what they did to the Broncos. What have we seen from them as of late, looking at the weighted numbers in terms of how much better they have been over the last, 8-game winning streak versus what they did at the first half of the season?
That's the best team in the AFC right now. They are the best, most balanced team in the AFC right now. I have them only behind the Rams and the Seahawks when it comes to the weighted ratings. Not by a lot. They're not far ahead of everybody. But Trevor Lawrence is playing the best football of his career since they traded for Jacoby Myers. The defense doesn't have a lot of names that people know, but it's playing outstanding. Anthony Campanile is the defensive coordinator, has done a really good job this year. The only thing is their running game has not been good in recent weeks, which is very interesting here because that is the weakness of the Bills. The weakness of the Bills is that everybody runs on them. Can the Jaguars run on them successfully when they have not run well for the last few weeks?
And then the final matchup is Houston at Pittsburgh. Now, again, another road favorite. Houston has been right on the heels of Jacksonville down the stretch, but just lost out. Houston, however, has that defense.
Yep.
One thing, though, that Pittsburgh does is they don't keep that. Aaron Rodgers does not hold the ball long enough to let a pass rush really get to him.
Yep.
I'm curious how much that could factor in to the Steelers actually getting through a first-round game for the first time in what seems like forever.
I mean, the thing about the Texans is that it's not just the pass rush; it's everything else is good too, right? They've got Stingley and Laster as the outside corners, and they've got Petre as the slot guy, and they've got Al-Shair is the one of the linebackers is very good in coverage. Henry To'o is a bit of a weakness in coverage. So if he ends up on Kenneth Gainwell, that could be good yardage for Pittsburgh. But the Texans defense is more than just the pass rush. So I think the fact that Rodgers is going to fling it real quick on every snap is going to, it's not necessarily going to like take advantage of a weakness for Houston.
How surprised would you be, Aaron, if Houston won the AFC?
Not. No, the AFC is unbelievably balanced. Like any team, I think any team from the AFC could honestly get out of there. And I'm honestly including Pittsburgh in that. In the NFC, I have the Rams and Seahawks way ahead and the Panthers way behind. In the AFC, it's very balanced. Like, I don't think Pittsburgh would do it, but it wouldn't be a complete shock if their defense played the way we know their defense can play and led them to it.
Obviously, Aaron, the biggest news of the week, not involving a game itself, is the fact that John Harbaugh is on the free agent market as the Ravens let him go. He's seemingly high on the odds list on just about every available team's list except the Ravens, obviously, of course. I'm curious what you think, where his talents maybe match up best with a situation that's out there right now.
Honestly, any of them. He is a really good head coach. He's a really good manager of the players. He's really smart about hiring good people to be his coordinators. It definitely had reached a point where, maybe, once a coach has been in the same place for so long, it gets a little stagnant. Everybody needs a change of situation and a change of scenery. It's what happened with Andy Reid in Philadelphia, and both the Eagles and Andy Reid were better off for it. But it was rumored that the Giants were the leaders for his services. And then the Dolphins fired Mike McDaniel, and they really want him. It's probably going to be one of those two teams, and I can't honestly say that I think Harbaugh is a better fit for one or the other. The fit that I do stand out for is that who Baltimore should hire. I think Baltimore should replace Harbaugh with Brian Flores, the defensive coordinator of the Minnesota Vikings, who excels at getting a pass rush out of a team without edge rushers and is very well respected and seems to have gotten over whatever psychological issues he had with the players in Miami, because the players in Minnesota love him.
Yeah, for sure.
Interesting stuff. We'll see who pulls the trigger first and gets a hire in, but and where Harbaugh obviously goes. But, of course, the first priority is Wild Card Weekend. Should be a lot of fun. 4
road favorites.
Road favorites.
Crazy.
Never seen that before. Aaron Schatz, read his great work at ftnfantasy.com. Aaron, we always appreciate the preview. Thanks a lot and enjoy it.
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Aaron.
Aaron Schatz joining us on the Prairie Flower Casino Zone Hotline. Yeah, I saw his takes. I was wondering if he was going to sneak one in. I wasn't intending to ask about the Ravens, but I saw his takes on Flores and the Ravens, and he's a big fan of that fit.
Yeah, I mean, his defense has been awesome this year. I was, shooting for this guy as a Cowboys fan, hoping that they could get him as a coordinator. I don't think that that's going to happen. No way in hell. He did a great job with Minnesota. You look at all of the pieces or the lack thereof that they have and what that defense was able to do, especially in the back half. I mean, they really are a functional offense away from being a contender themselves. If they had one, we'd be talking about them like we're talking about Houston right now. I don't know why that couldn't have been the case with them. Even the Seahawks, because their offense took a bit of a step back as the back half of the season unfolded. But of course they didn't do that because they drafted J.J. McCarthy and he was their starter, and Carson Wentz this year, and Max Brosmer. He did a great job. That'd be quite the fit for them. And then wherever Harbaugh ends up, I couldn't agree with him more. Andy Reid is a great comp. Both sides needed to move on. It was good for everybody. And the marriage with him in Kansas City has worked out well. And, of course, we know the Eagles have a couple Super Bowls since.
You heard there at the beginning with Aaron about Matt Stafford and the weather. I just pulled up the Charlotte forecast. It's light chance of rain during most of the game, but it does pick up near the end of the game. Hopefully the Rams will be up 40 by that point.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
I said hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
As long as we win. I hate these games more than if we were playing Seattle or Philadelphia.
Which games? The games you're supposed to win?
Yes. Nothing pisses me off more than when you lose
At
to
least
a
the games
bad
are
team.
outside and not in a stupid dome.
I would agree.
Take, Joey.
You know what?
Only
As yeah, go ahead.
Only 3 teams in the playoffs play in a dome. You got the Chargers and the Rams, and then the Texans. Everybody else is outside. Fantastic.
Even as someone who knows that his quarterback might be compromised by wet balls. That's an actual thing, guys. Look it up.
Yeah, I've watched football.
I don't like domes.
Yeah.
Play the damn games
I would love to
outside.
see a little Rams in Chicago, 49ers in Seattle for round 2. Get to see the Rams go into the chilly Midwestern weather. No offense, Joey. I apologize. But that's what
You don't want to see an onside kick between the Packers and Seahawks in the fourth quarter.
No, I don't need to see highlights of the NFC Championship
just to
game.
commemorate the 10-year anniversary.
Joey, you don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want to be around.
I know you want it.
Because all they would do is show, look, Eagles go down. I am good with whatever, honestly. As long as I get that, I'm fine with anything happening in the play, except for the Steelers winning. God, that would
Well,
be
the Eagles
everyone.
got their favorite referee for Sunday.
Oh, damn it!
Of course, Joey would know
They're
this.
8-1. I found a stat.
Come on, who'd they lose to?
I don't know.
Was it the Cowboys right before Thanksgiving?
Who knows?
Remember when they came back?
Well, probably
The Niners-
because
the
Cowboys
Niners
Best
don't
day
have-
of the season.
Niners don't have a good record with
Needed
this
refs to
official.
help him on that one.
God, that was a great 5 days.
That was a well,
I had
that's
an
right,
awesome 5 days. Eagles, Chiefs. That was awesome. Everything else after that, terrible.
Your double Super Bowl.
Terrible.
And Jerry Jones is going to be an owner for
Okay.
the rest of
All
his
right.
life.
All right. Joey, I think the mic might be broken. It looks like it's turning off right now. That's a huge bummer for you.
All right, coming up, we'll have a little bit more on that. We got Kent's Movie Club still to come. Also, Nebraska did get another portal entry or portal pick.
Bad. Yeah.
Not an entry.
Not yet.
someone going into the portal
That we know of.
Yeah. But someone out of the portal.
Mm-hmm.
And how many schools did this person go to?
Oh, great question.
Also, 1620, the analytics will look at Indiana and Oregon.
Perfect.
Coming up tonight from the Peach Bowl. I didn't even know which game they were in last night.
You will notice when we talk to guests, who did we have on this week? When we had Todd on yesterday,
Yeah.
you will notice when I ask questions, I never reference the bowl because I never remember which ones they're at.
And it doesn't matter.
Exactly. So I just say the games. Indiana's playing Oregon.
It's a semifinal.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
all it is.
I did remember once you said Peach, I was like, that's right. It's in Atlanta. I knew that, but I forgot. So I knew it, but I forgot. You know how it goes.
1620, the zone.
But first, Josh and John here for Underdog Fantasy. We just talked with Aaron Schatz about all of the games that will be on your televisions, 2 tomorrow, 3 Sunday, and 1 on Monday. And right now, for the wild card weekend, Underdog is adding a gimme pick on a quarterback of your choice from any of the wild card games to get started. So download the app today. You can do it in Nebraska, a reminder, and find one of those quarterbacks. Whether maybe it's Matthew Stafford tomorrow, Bryce Young, Caleb Williams, Jordan Love, and the many other quarterbacks that will be on the football field this weekend. And John, if you get your picks right in Nebraska, a reminder, you can win up to 5,000 times your cash.
So take advantage of that gimme pick on a quarterback of your choice and go out and find your favorite players and make this wild card weekend even more enjoyable. Download the Underdog app today. Use our promo code 1620 the zone. And score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. Again, $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5 by using our promo code at signup, 1620 the zone. Sign up for Underdog. Make picks. Win money. Must be 19 plus and present in Nebraska. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com for details. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page. Just look up 1620 The Zone on YouTube. And then when you subscribe, it gives you a little ding-a-ling, little alert when we have something new to broadcast. Any of our shows go live, you'll know about it, and you'll be able to watch along. And if you so choose, you can even comment along in the YouTube comment section, because that's the stuff that shows up in our inbox.
It's very nice. We love comments, even from the annoying people.
Well, not so much for the annoying people, but we make fun of them.
We do.
But
We
maybe
absolutely
that's
do.
the reason why they exist.
That's true. That's
so
true.
Visit youtube.com and search 1620 The Zone and subscribe today. Hit that subscribe button. Be a pal.
Please
Be
do.
a pal, will ya? NFL playoffs. And you'll be able to hear, will every game be on? Or are we going to
Can't
have
imagine
to,
tomorrow's is, right?
Well, we have
it could be a join in progress depending on how tomorrow's games go.
Okay.
let me look, because I got the
that-
sports
that-
schedule right
that's
in
a-
front of me.
That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
director of audio question.
That is. We got an email from him earlier today.
Yeah, we did get an email from him earlier today. You will be able to, yes, it will be joined in progress. Rams and Panthers joined in progress after Blue Jay postgame, and then Bears Packers in its entirety. And then, of course, all day on Sunday with Bills Jags, Niners Eagles, Chargers Patriots, and Monday night as well with Houston at Pittsburgh.
Perfect.
All right here.
Just imagine Packers and Steelers Super Bowl again.
Again?
Great storyline.
That sounds awful.
That sounds
Aaron
terrible,
Rodgers
Joe.
against his former
We already
team.
saw that game
Yeah,
earlier
we
this
did,
year.
but
That
it's a
game
regular season.
sucked. That game was
That
terrible.
was a bad game. I mean, I know the Packers won. It was a bad game.
That was an ugly game.
It was an ugly first half, but a fantastic second half. People forget Jordan Love completed 20 consecutive passes.
Good call, Joe.
Tucker Kraft went off that
But
game.
remember, he's hurt. His knee exploded.
Don't
Right? Isn't that
remind
what
me,
happened to
Josh.
Tucker Kraft? His knee
Yeah,
exploded?
yeah.
What if we
Kind of
what
like
if
Micah
we-
Parsons.
What if instead we had a Super Bowl that featured the two most passionate fan bases, and the ticket prices will be through the roof? Rams and Chargers.
That would be pretty funny. Non
Played in San Francisco.
non-Rams, non-Packers Super Bowl matchup that you would most want to see. Non-Rams, non-Packers. Now, for you, this is harder because your team is really good. The Packers are not going on a run. No offense, Joey. Joey understands. They don't have their best players. But what would be a Super Bowl that you would say, sign me up? That sounds like a great game.
Not Frisco and not New England. Get those.
What if we got
Put the Bills
Seattle and
Oh, and not
Jackson-
Seattle.
Okay, what if we got
Not
Seattle,
Denver.
Jacksonville?
Bleh.
Dude, Jacksonville's good, man. Jacksonville's good.
Bleh.
Jacksonville's good. What if we got Jacksonville and
Jacksonville and anybody, I'm sorry. It's just.
so you don't want any of those?
I-
Buffalo? You don't like Buffalo? What about Denver?
No, I'm in the
You're okay
AFC.
with
And
Denver?
the AFC, I'm rooting for Denver.
Okay, so you're rooting for Denver, and then
I'm rooting for a Rams Broncos Super Bowl. So
what about Broncos Bears? You'd be okay? The Stibbs Bowl. Imagine
I don't
Stibbs-
want
No
the
Bears.
Bears in the Super Bowl.
Why not?
No.
So you just want, if it can't be the Rams, no NFC teams allowed.
Pretty much.
All right, sounds good to me. See, it's
Pretty
so funny.
much.
All I have is one NFC team that I don't want, and that's the Eagles. That's the only one that I say get
Yeah.
them out of there. Anyone else, I'm fine
So
with.
you're fine with Green Bay going to the Super Bowl.
See, but I'm also not worried about Green
you're fine
Bay.
with Travion Diggs going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, good luck
People
with that.
forget the Packers got Travion Diggs.
That's the one team that I don't want in it from the NFC. And again, I'm not worried about the Steelers doing it, but that's the one team that I wouldn't want it from the AFC.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
in
think
terms of actual good football, I do think Seattle,
How-
Jacksonville would be pretty.
How about Pittsburgh and Chicago? Because Aaron Rodgers did not get
Oh!
the chance to face the Bears in the regular
No,
season.
Joey, that sounds terrible. Stop mentioning Pittsburgh. That sounds awful. Gross. No, thank you.
Steelers Bears. That's interesting.
Never saw it in the olden times.
No, never saw it. In the
Bears have
olden
only
times.
made two of them ever. Bears have only made two of them ever.
Yeah, they won't stop reminding us about the first one.
Dude, they'd never shut
They
up.
never
about-
remind us about the second one.
Did you
It's
know
like
about
that didn't even
85?
exist.
They had
You
an
know about
opportunity 15
85?
years ago,
Did you know about
but someone decided to sit out the second half.
I, you know,
Ow, my
now
knee hurts.
my enjoyment of this game will be incumbent upon how the first game goes, but I hope obviously the Rams win for obvious reasons, but I love that the Packers are playing the Bears. These are two
I just hate some prime.
of the three oldest franchises in the NFL.
And they've only played twice in the playoffs ever.
and that's it. Now,
How
most
is
of the
that
time,
possible?
well, because there really wasn't a playoff, and in
That's
the
not
days,
true. The Super Bowl started 60 years ago.
yeah, but before that, because most of their existence happened, well, about half their existence happened pre-Super Bowl, they were always in the same conference and there wasn't a playoff.
But think about it. Like the Ravens have only been in existence as the Ravens for 30 years. And them and the Steelers have played in the playoffs way more than the Packers Bears ever have.
Because the Bears have sucked.
That's a big part of it. And the Packers were bad when the Bears were good in the 80s.
Right.
But you're right. When the Packers have been awesome, the Bears
have rarely been good at the same time.
Yeah, it is wild how, like, when they played in the NFC Championship game when Jay Cutler said, ow, my knee, that was the first time since what year was it? What's the other one? Is it in the 40s?
Yeah,
or is it
there
in the
was
60s?
like a Western Conference playoff or something.
If I remember right, the Bears
way
smoked them in that game.
Way back in the day. So it's not, it's mostly circumstantial because, again, when the Packers were good, the Bears sucked. When the Bears have been good, the Packers haven't been.
Yeah.
And so it's just kind of,
basically the last 30 years have been the Packers, and then between the 70s and 80s,
The
it
Packers
was all
sucked.
the Bears.
Yeah.
It was
all
the Bears
Bears.
and Vikings.
And the wild part, too, and we talked about this yesterday with Todd Furman, this is the third time that they played in essentially a month because they did not play until December, and then they played 2 weeks later, and now they're playing like 3 weeks later. And all of the games have gone down to the wire. The second one was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if we're going to have another weird one, but certainly it's very interesting how the Packers, with all those injuries, the perception is still that they are the better team. It does not help the Bears that they finished the regular season horribly.
I would expect a high-scoring game between the two
You think
teams.
so? What's the weather supposed to be like in Chicago?
It's supposed to be cold, chilly. It's not going to be as
Not gonna
windy
be too bad, though.
as the previous game in Chicago.
Okay.
But I would expect a high-scoring game. Both secondaries aren't that great. Bears are without Gardner Johnson, who, I mean, it doesn't even matter for the Packers anyway because the receivers were cooking him
Yeah, because CJ sucks now.
Yeah. In the AFC, are you still? You ride with the Bills all the time.
I'm off that train.
You're off.
I like the
Bills?
Jaguars. I was hoping to surprise you when we did predictions. I like the Jaguars here.
No hope for Buffalo.
How about this stat?
Buffalo
Sean McDermott.
overrated.
Sean McDermott has never won a road playoff game in his Bills tenure. He is 0-4-5, and in 4 games.
Well, aren't they all against the Chiefs?
Mostly. And in the 4 games with Josh Allen, the Bills defense has been a huge reason why they lose. They allow 33.5 points per game on the road when Josh Allen starts and 19.8 at home. So the defense, now, you're right. There, you got prime Mahomes in there in multiple games, including the 13 seconds one. And that's going to be a problem. But, I mean, that's a pretty big deal. Also, one of the best parts about the Bills offense, of course, is James Cook, led the league in rushing this year. Jaguars, no 100-yard rusher in any game allowed this season. Aaron said it. They're playing the best football in the AFC right now.
Which is amazing because the game that preceded this run, the Rams took them through the ringer. I mean, just dominated them.
Yeah.
But even in that game, Jacksonville was able to move the ball, but then they'd get inside the 30 and it'd be facing a 4th and short and the Rams would shut them down. Now, they couldn't stop a head cold, though not many teams have been able to stop the Rams offense this year. But if you would have told me after that game in London that the Jags were going to go on this run, I would not have believed it because they just didn't look right.
If anything, you probably would have said they're going to fall off the race.
Right.
And instead, they won the AFC South.
Yeah.
With the Texans coming on strong. It's not even like they didn't
Yeah,
have
because
competition.
the Texans would have been the story.
Yeah, because Texans were chasing them, and they were winning a lot of games at the end of the regular season. They became like the hot pick probably about a month ago when they beat Kansas City. But then it's like, oh, wait, but they're not going to win the division because Jacksonville won't lose. They
were winning games without CJ Stroud.
Yeah.
They were on that 3-game winning streak with Davis Mills as the quarterback.
But Jacksonville doesn't lose. And I that's why I said it to Aaron. If their name was not Jacksonville, if this was the Chiefs, same resume, everyone would be saying that's the team to go to the Super Bowl. They're playing the best football right now.
Well, and Aaron said they're the best team in the AFC right now.
But it's Jacksonville. They don't have a home field advantage to write home about. And if they win, they'll most likely go on the road in round 2. That said, I think that they could give the Patriots a ton of problems if they played in round number 2.
Eagles.
Don't like this game.
That
for the 49ers.
The Vic Fangio versus Kyle Shanahan's issue is a problem. It is a problem. I mean, Fangio now, as Aaron mentioned, one of those games happened in the NFC Championship when
Purdy got hurt
down.
on the first drive.
But even without that, it has been dominance after dominance after dominance.
Yeah. And
it goes back to, covering the tight end and how important that has been. We all know how important Kittle is to that whole operation.
Yeah. The matchup, and I asked him about this, it's like good on good, truly, versus like weakness on weakness. So who is a little bit better in both? And I agree with him. I think the Eagles are a little bit better on offense because certainly they have the dudes. Since week 7, that's when Fred Warner went down. 49ers are allowing opponents 47% success rate on design runs, which is third worst in the NFL. Now, the Eagles' run game has not been anywhere near what it was last year because of offensive line injury. Saquon, definitely, I think the load that he carried last year had started showing. That said, the 49ers just fell apart big time. Even in the Bears win, they didn't perform very well on that side of the ball. And then on the other side, I worry about Purdy and the hand after getting banged up at the end of the game against Seattle. And I just saw this. I was talking about it with my friend earlier this week. I'm worried for the 49ers because they just played a great defense, and now they play another great defense. And it's not like Purdy got hurt early. That was the last drive of the game.
Yeah.
And you're right. They've been super banged up, in all those skill spots. I could absolutely see them winning the game. It would just require some stuff going their way. Really nice day for McCaffrey and a second person really stepping up on the outside.
The first 4 meetings between a Fangio defense and a Shanahan offense, 11, 6, 15, and 9. Whoa. Those are the point totals for the San Francisco or for the Shanahan offense.
So this is going back to back to Atlanta?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
So
that's good stuff.
It's just not been there.
Yep.
Now, the thing that I would cling my hope to if I were a Frisco fan, which if I were, I'd
probably your wife.
Probably throw myself off a cliff.
Don't say that about your wife.
I'd throw myself if I were a Frisco fan off a cliff. I wouldn't throw her off.
Okay, good.
Is that the Eagles play with their food?
I know.
On offense.
They
play with their food.
0 completions in the second half in 2 games this year. 2 separate games, they completed 0 passes.
You go back to your happiest week ever. They were dominating that game against the Cowboys and then just decided we don't need to play anymore.
I liked that game. That was a great
And
game.
Slowly but surely, Dallas came back and ended up winning the game. And the Eagles cannot have another second half or a first half taken off.
Yeah.
And expect to win.
Definitely.
They have to put it all together.
Mm-hmm.
Can you trust them to do that over the course of 4 games?
Great question.
Personally, I cannot.
Chargers, Patriots. Patriots, 8.7 air yards per attempt, second most in the NFL. Chargers defense, though, they allow their opponents 5.0 air yards per attempt, which is third lowest in the NFL. I think that this game goes one of 2 ways. It is a rock fight, low scoring, Patriots starting to clench a little bit, or New England rolls. I think that I don't think that it's like a New England won a ho-hum game by 10. I think they either dominate and run away, or this thing goes down to the final minutes of it. I just worry about the Chargers. So many injuries. It's honestly astounding that they have gotten to this point.
It is.
All of the
and
wins.
with the record that they had.
It's hard to trust them in big games.
It is hard to trust them. Justin Herbert, famously, 0 playoff wins. They laid a stink bomb last year against Houston.
Yes,
and
of course,
we know about the game against Jacksonville when they blew the big lead.
Still feels like Brandon Staley's presence is in the organization.
The ghost of Staley's hanging out there?
Yes, they find stupid ways to lose.
Well, that's the Chargers' way.
It is the Chargers' way.
You mentioned going to the Monday night game. You mentioned Steelers and Aaron Rodgers and the pass rush. 2.62 seconds is the time to throw, the average time to throw for Aaron Rodgers. That's obviously the fastest in the NFL. You wonder what that is going to mean because that pass rush is really, really good. Can they get to Rodgers throughout this game? Can they get to Aaron Rodgers?
Don't forget, DK Metcalf is back.
That's right. The 2-game suspension's done.
The suspension is over. And so DeKalin Zacharias Metcalf.
Nice.
Apparently that triggers him.
Oh, really?
That's what the guy was allegedly yelling at him.
Oh, the blue-haired Lions fan?
Yeah, the blue-haired Lions
Well, it's
fan.
like severe. He doesn't want to be called Mike. That's his name.
Yeah.
I'll respect him. I would respect DK and wouldn't call him by that. That's probably what his parents are allowed to call him.
But he'll be back. So,
folks,
let's see if that fourth quarter momentum carries in. Can Aaron Rodgers be the difference in Mike Tomlin team finally winning a playoff game? And they do get this one at home. Not that has always
say, yeah.
they've lost was it Cleveland that
Lost
they lost
to Cleveland during COVID. They lost
yeah.
to the Jaguars, which is what the loss actually that kicked off this losing streak back after 2017.
Most of them been on the road, though.
So both those games were blowouts. The defense gave up a lot of points.
Yeah, so Joey, good point. So they lost 45-42 to Jacksonville. 3 years later in COVID, they lost 48-37. Then road. Okay, yeah. So this is their first home game since the COVID year. That game was nuts. I think the Browns were up 28-0 in the first quarter.
Yeah, it was bad.
That was weird.
They kept turning it over.
God, that was funny. Yeah.
Well, we'll have our predictions on these a little bit later on.
We will indeed.
We'll be back and we'll do a little 1620 the analytics, and then it's Kent's Movie Club.
Lovely.
We'll preview tonight's second semifinal on 1620 the Zone. Welcome back. Hey, a reminder that, let's see, 3 weeks from today.
Oh, yes.
We will be at the Hope Lodge, Nebraska for our annual Creighton versus Cancer Pink Out broadcast. We'll be doing our paper drive for the good folks at Hope Lodge, which is a home away from home for cancer patients and a caregiver for those who need to have their life-saving cancer treatments done while far away from home. They got a place to stay with all the accoutrements, a great kitchen, great facilities, and it's all done free of charge. And it's only possible because of the generosity of so many. So this will be part of our drive. And of course, the pink out game is the next day against UConn. But cannot wait. It's always one of our favorite remotes of the year. That'll be 3 weeks from today, right down the street. They're on Dodge, just down the hill from Children's Hospital.
Looking forward to it.
From the Hope Lodge, Nebraska. Time for some 1620 the analytics. And the matchup changes. Oregon and Indiana. And as we take a look at the matchup, look at all that blue. I mean, it's such an even matchup, it would appear. Indiana, defensively against the rush, number 3 in the country. EPA, that's expected points added.
Yep.
Oregon's offense, number 1.
Good on good.
It's good.
It's great on great.
It is. I mean, it's hard to find anywhere where there's like a massive difference. You flip the script, Oregon defense versus Indiana offense. Now, this is where it gets a little interesting because even though Indiana or Oregon does a great job of limiting quality drives, once teams get into the scoring zone, they're only middle of the country, while Indiana's 4th in the nation in points per quality drive, averaging nearly 5 per game, which is a very, very good number.
It's the inverse of bend but don't break. They rarely bend, but when they do, they break.
Yes.
So that is a fascinating stat right there. If you're able to move the ball, and Indiana usually is, they would be able to finish some of those drives.
When Oregon has the ball, a lot of overlap here. For those of you watching in, the Ducks are in green, the Hoosiers in crimson, red. Slight advantage for Oregon in terms of explosive plays, but slight advantages for Indiana at the line of scrimmage. Slight advantage for Indiana on late down success rate. So getting off the field a little bit better than Oregon is on 3rd downs and 4th downs. If you remember back from the first game, that game was decided by turnovers and a couple of big ones for Oregon.
Yeah, it's pretty wild too. Is Indiana even threw a pick 6 and they still won that game.
And
by
they
10.
still won the game.
Yeah.
Still ended up winning the game. So fairly even on that side. When you flip it over the other way, when Indiana has the football, look at some of those advantages. This is where Indiana's run game, similar to last week against Alabama, I think has a real opportunity. Even though the rush EPA per play is identical, look at the stuff rate and look at the line yards. Stuff rate are the plays that are held either at or behind the line of scrimmage. Line yards are lines that are credited to the offensive line. And Indiana is really good up front, getting those extra 2 and 3 yards to start. So I think tonight, if Indiana is running the ball well, I don't know if Oregon can win.
Yeah, and I would agree with you entirely. They're going up against a better run defense, but we have seen Indiana do a really nice job. The thing that I just keep going back to is that I thought, having a pick 6 on the road that tied the game up, and Indiana still won by 10. It's just like, wow, that's hard
incredible.
to get. It's hard to get out of your mind. It's like, what if you take that away? They probably win that game by 14, 17 points. And that's what happened in the first one. The thing that I wonder about, Oregon did not respect Texas Tech's offense last week. Did not respect it at all.
Didn't have to.
They didn't have to. You got to respect Indiana's offense. That's that Dan Lanning is an aggressive coach. So I do wonder the kind of push and pull of going forward on 4th down, certainly in your own territory, let alone in opposition's territory. I wonder how that works out. I think I'm really excited for like the first 4th and 2 around midfield or better, or even slightly worse for Dan Lanning tonight and what he decides to do. Because I'd just be worried if they did that, what they did last week, and they didn't convert them, Indiana would run them off the field. You can't give that team short
I
notes.
think you still have to be true to who you are and have faith that you're going to convert. I think they ran into, and I'm not saying that Indiana's defense is poor because it's obviously not. As you saw, as the game wore on, they eventually wore into that defense, and Oregon was able to pull away. I think they get those 4th and shorts. I think they have to be aggressive because they have to assume that when Indiana's got the
They're
football,
gonna score touchdowns.
that they're going to score touchdowns. They're going to work clock. They're going to be, because that's the thing about the Hoosiers. They can hit the big play, but then they can also wear you down. And that's what they did to Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Oregon's got to be very wary of that. They can't let last week's inability to convert 4th and 2 or 4th and 1 cloud their vision as to what got them here in the first place. I still think they have to be aggressive and hope that this time they either execute better or have better plays called in order to get those first downs and to keep those drives moving.
Yeah, and I think definitely I agree with you when they're in the red zone. I mean, I think settling for field goals instead of going for touchdowns would be a fool's errand. That said, I would just be a little wary about doing that, especially when you're in your own territory against Indiana like they did against Tech, because I just don't think that you could get away with it like they did last week.
Parker Fleming, by the way, says Indiana 28-22.
Okay.
Which is pretty much the exact same score he had. He had 28-23 last night, and it almost hit.
Yeah, I was going to say the margin of victory was pretty much spot
margin
on.
of victory was spot on. So It's a very similar margin of victory tonight projected for Indiana over Oregon in the second semifinal.
Looking forward to it.
Coming up next, we'll take a break from sports, and we'll talk with Kent Wolgamott, and we will review Mountainhead on HBO Max. That's next on 1620 The Zone. Friday, the final day of the week.
voyages of the program Unsportsmanlike Conduct. Its ongoing mission to explore strange new movies, to seek out new bits and new edifications, to boldly go where no radio program has gone before. Oh, Elkent's Movie Club. It's Elkent's Movie Club. Elkent's Movie Club. It's Elkent's Movie Club.
Josh, did anyone bother to tell Kent that the Raiders didn't make the playoffs this year?
No, I don't think so.
Because this is Kent. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is one of the rare times you actually wear Raider gear. You're wearing a Vegas Raiders sweatshirt.
Tonight is Raider fan holiday for the
the Davis family's finally selling.
Okay, we'll either get Mendoza or so yeah, every Raider fan is watching this game tonight going, I want that guy.
Now, are you more excited for which quarterback or for the possibility that John Harbaugh could be the next head coach?
If the John Harbaugh thing is true, yeah, John Harbaugh. Absolutely. But I'm not so sure that it would surprise me that he'd want to come to a team that's in the middle of a full-blown rebuild now. But maybe he does.
Well, I mean, it's full-blown rebuild since 2002, I believe.
Ken, isn't it funny,
They're
Ken?
now at the point where they're at I think they've got Mark Davis out of the picture, so perhaps they can actually do this.
Isn't it funny, Kent, how early in the year the Raiders had that Monday night game where Tom Brady was showing up in the box with the headset on and everyone's like, oh my gosh, this is so unfair. And now you're the 1 seed or the number 1 overall pick. So it's obvious that he's doing a really great job.
Tom came in and changed things around.
Good job, Tom.
He was part of hiring Pete Carroll and signing Geno Smith, a couple of fine typical Raider moves.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, it is happy anniversary to the Raiders. This is the 49th anniversary of their first Super Bowl win.
Oh, awesome.
Super Bowl 11 in the Rose Bowl in Pasadena.
That's the one they carried John Madden off, right?
That's his only Super Bowl.
Oh, man, that's awesome. John Madden.
Yeah. You remember that game, Kent?
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
People forget that the Raiders were like they were kind of like the Bills of today, where they win all the freaking time, but couldn't get over the hump, couldn't get to the Super Bowl. Then they finally did.
Yeah.
And then they won and then proceeded to win 2 more in the next, 7 years. So it ended up being pretty good.
And part of it is they got a couple world-class screwings from your NFL officials to not make the including why I will be rooting against Pittsburgh for the rest of my life.
Let's go, Kent. Handshake me, baby. I thought, I'll be honest, Kent, when John was like, it's an anniversary for the Raiders, I thought he was going to be like, the Tuck rule happened 24 years ago.
Nope.
No, I think we're a week or 2 past the Tuck rule.
Yeah,
that was when they had fewer games.
Yeah.
That's the other real screw job. Those 2 are classics, and both of them everybody knows now are. The Tuck rule was a fumble. Brady even says it's a fumble.
Yep.
And the film shows that ball hit Frankie Fuqua first. So in 1970, whatever it was, that's an incomplete pass. The second that Franco catches it.
Now today, the immaculate reception, it wouldn't matter because it doesn't matter who touches the ball first on a deflection. But
I think I told the story one time on the air, Ken, before we get to the movie. But I thought for a long time, because I of course wasn't alive, I thought the controversy was that the camera angle, you didn't see if he caught it or not. And so I remember eventually there was a different rule at the time, and I had no idea about the different rule. Anyway.
The movie this week is Mountainhead. It is on HBO Max, and it features, among others, Steve Carell, Rami Youssef, Jason Schwartzman. These are basically 4 tech bros who have made it big in the technology sector, who go for a mountain retreat called Mountainhead. And essentially the whole movie takes place here at this mountain retreat, where they're there just reconnecting and being tech bros. And all while, because of their technology, AI specifically, things are blowing up around the world. Fake news stories are triggering events, and then other events are happening. All of this happening while these guys are essentially not only they're holed up, but they're also kind of scheming with each other to buy out others and to increase their own personal wealth.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I mean, that's pretty much the synopsis of the movie.
And the guy who directed it he's the creator of Succession, which ended a couple years ago. And I would definitely say that it has some of the similar kind of vibes to it. I mean, that focuses on a billionaire and a search for power, though that is about family and who will take over, who will succeed, hence the title of it. And less just about, a couple guys or 4 guys hanging out over the course of 90 minutes. You know what? So I'm not a huge fan of this movie, Kent. This is the second time I've seen it. I actually liked it less this time. And you know why? I think I realized when I was rewatching it this week for Movie Club, it's just not, I don't think it's very funny. Succession was hilarious.
Yes.
I don't know if you ever watched Succession, Kent.
Yes.
But okay. Great show, excellent dialogue, monstrous people, but very
good characters.
Good characters. And that, not to say like I would want to hang out with any of them, because I would not want to spend time with Logan Roy or Kendall Roy or any of the Roys, Shiv Roy. But there was things about them that for 40 episodes or whatever, I wanted to spend time with them on a weekly basis. When this one, God bless you, when this one ended, I was like, thank God I don't have to live in this world with these, because they are jerks and horrible, horrible people.
Yeah.
And they prove it time and time again over the course of the 90 plus minutes.
You're 100% right on the dialogue and all of that, feeling like Succession.
Mm-hmm.
Where this movie, why it doesn't connect. Succession had however many seasons for character development.
Yes.
This has almost 0. These are like
45.
cartoons out there. You've got Steve Carell's the guy who's got the cancer diagnosis, and so he's going to do whatever he can to try to stay alive longer. And Jason Schwartzman's the guy who doesn't measure up to the others because he doesn't have as much money, right? They're all just that's all you know about them, right? You get some sense of what's the guy with 3 names? That's the
Corey Michael Smith.
There you go. You get a little bit more about him only because he punches out a tree at one point. So you get that. So you don't have that. The movie just isn't as funny. And then as Succession, and then after they go down the basement because they think, they've run out of water or whatever that excuse was, and they go down there. Once the movie goes down the basement, it takes this tonal turn. And frankly, that guy doesn't know how to do, the director doesn't know how to do that. You could have made that whole ending sequence really, really funny, right? I mean, you could do that funny. But this is not quite funny and not quite dramatic. It just kind of right there somewhere in the middle. And to me, that it just didn't fire at all.
Yeah, and the twist is, of course, is they figure out, hey, we need to merge these companies. And so they basically try to force the 4th guy to come to a deal, doesn't want to. And so the plot then is to smother him,
murder him,
so
drop a bowling ball on him.
Exactly. And so I think there were elements there There were elements here where it could have been funny.
Definitely.
Correct.
But again, because you don't really get a chance to learn who these people are and what make them tick, they all just kind of blend into each other. They're just at different ages. Obviously, Steve Carell's character is older than the other three, but there's really not that opportunity to feel for any of these guys. And the other part, and this is the part that took me out of it, I suppose if you're like really into tech, there may have been some funny stuff in here, but it was easy to get lost with some of the verbiage and the jargon and all of this other stuff, because they're talking about AI and they're talking about algorithms and all this other stuff. And if you're not in that world, this could be a hard movie to follow.
And along that line, the even more that's confusing. This was ridiculous. Steve Carell's character spouting off about Hegel and Kant and ancient history and all of that. How many people watching a movie have the slightest idea who Immanuel Kant was?
Right.
So why would that be? It was funny if you know Kant, but there's a kind of a thin audience that knows philosophy, right?
Yeah.
Or Hegel, or I mean, he dropped a whole bunch of those, and I'm like, this is weird, and people don't talk that way.
Right.
Yeah, you know, Kent, you said something a couple minutes ago that I think maybe is the reason why I liked this less on time number 2, and that is when it kind of takes this sharp turn at the end. For the most part, the first time I watched it, I was like kind of, enjoying it a little bit. A bunch of dudes that I hate, but hanging out. It's interesting enough. But when I think what's coming at the end, it just, in the words of Al Michaels, it's farcical.
Mm-hmm.
And it just goes, it's like such a strange direction for it to take that on the second watch, I just know where it's going to go this entire time. And in a way, it almost took me out of the whole, 90-minute, 80-minute buildup to when those moments started happening.
Yeah, that was last 25 minutes or so.
Uh-huh. Yep.
So
sure.
yeah, the other interesting thing I thought about, or the reason you kept watching this movie and didn't just shut the thing off, was because those guys, all four, were really good. They were playing despicable people, but they were all good, I thought.
Yeah.
They just, weren't given a lot of depth to play with, but they were good. And especially Jason Schwartzman, I thought he was really good as the guy who was.
Oh, man, you can tell he wants their approval so bad because he's the one member of the group who's not a billionaire. And so there's a scene where they go on top of a mountain and they write their net worth on their chest with, was that lipstick? Is that what that was?
Yeah.
And so they do that, and he is not a billionaire. And he is fourth on the totem pole. And they call him Soup because you come to learn the joke is he will eventually have to go to a soup kitchen because he is the poorest of the billionaires, even though he's not a billionaire. And I thought he played that character really well. Well, he's just like, he has more wealth than any of us will ever see in our lives. But in that group, he's viewed as the poor one.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Would it have worked better if, and probably his character is probably the most likely, if one of those characters would have had a something you could sympathize with?
Or sympathetic, yes.
So that actually it gives you something maybe to root for.
Absolutely. And if it had been, you take that and then you tell the story in a way from that guy's point of view, rather than this,
right?
Or you make him the central character, and so you see everything else from this other point of view, which could make it both funnier but also more. You're able to connect with it better.
Which character were you talking about?
The Schwartzman character.
Okay, yeah.
And it didn't have to be him, but his would have been the most likely. But somebody in that group, a little bit of sympathy, because even in Succession, there were a couple of characters where you're kind of like, all right, I kind of like that.
Yeah.
They weren't all despicable.
Even though Kendall's like an idiot on that show, you do feel bad for him sometimes because he's just searching for his father's approval.
Correct.
I think, Kent too, again, second rewatch now for me, but Steve Carell, for the first bit of the movie, he is kind of the most normal, right? Straight man,
yes.
elder statesman of the group, kind of above the fray. And in a way, like, it's kind of a bummer that he gets into the muck with everybody in the last bit of it, because I think if maybe there's a bit of a distance and there's maybe more clashing, and instead of it just being 3 versus 1, it's 2 versus 1 versus 1 or 2 versus 2. I wonder if that might have made it better at the end as well.
Oh, very likely. I think that's right. I think it's also needs to be noted, I guess, for people that haven't watched it, and after we get done talking, nobody may want to watch.
Maybe they might want to.
But these characters are modeled on Zuckerberg, Peter Thiel, however you say that guy's name. Not so much Elon, but other of the tech bro billionaires that are out there. So he stole little bits and tried to, model them, but not make them the exact person. And I think that's part of the problem with the characterizations a little bit, because he was like making the cartoon version of.
Correct.
The crazy thing is, while none of us were like huge fans, according to Rotten Tomatoes, 79% were positive reviews of the critics who reviewed it. And at least as of now, this movie came out early in 2025. As of summer of 2025, it was the second most watched original HBO Max film.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
Now, what I will say on that Rotten Tomatoes critics thing, if you give, like, I used to do A through F to A grading, right?
Right.
Sure.
4 to 5. Well, we use letter grades. Anything that I gave a C or higher, Rotten Tomatoes put in as a positive.
Okay.
So even your middle of the road movies end up being positive on there, because most people use the 4 stars. So anything above 2 is positive. Anything below is negative.
Which makes some sense. I wonder if some of the A, positive reviews, and B, the popularity is because they wanted it to be good, because it was from Jesse Armstrong, who is the writer and the director of this.
A topical satire of today,
right?
And it resonates so much with the headlines and blah 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 blah. Absolutely,
yeah, for sure.
Something like this, and who knows where all of this is going to go in 5 years. But this could be one of those. I think of, and I know it's not a completely different genre, but the You Got Mail. Remember that movie with
yeah,
where how dated that is.
Yeah.
Whereas where like something like this is based on where technology goes and how all this happens may not age very well, because it is still of its time.
And by next year, it may not age very well as
right.
But if you ever get a chance to see 5 minutes of that You Got Mail, if you happen to come across it when it's on TV, it's like, it could be the 1890s or whatever when it was set. As it's as ancient as that.
Well, one of the funny parts about that movie, Kent, is that like the good guy is the person who worked for the big box store, and like the evil person is the local bookstore owner, in terms of how they present them. Where in life today, it's always support local, buy from your neighborhood shops instead of going to the big box.
Yeah, imagine if they'd have done, back in the 20s, they'd done a movie about the telegram.
Yeah.
No one can relate to a telegram. What the hell is that?
Yeah, I got no takes on telegrams.
I don't either. So that is Mountainhead.
Mm-hmm. Joey, did we make you want to watch it?
When I have the time, I will open up. It's on HBO Max.
Yes.
Oh, I just canceled it in favor of Hulu.
All right. I guess Joey won't be able to watch it then.
So much for that. No, you're not really missing that much.
Well, I only got HBO Max for that Celtics documentary then.
Oh, of course you did.
Because it was only available on that service.
Of course
the
you
9
did.
episodes. I enjoyed it, though.
Well, we sadly did not get Nick's interpretation. He is sick today, but
yeah,
maybe it was watching the movie that made him sick. I don't know.
Good point. Yeah.
There's a part of me that thinks Nick probably would have liked it more than the rest of us.
I am guessing so as well. I think he probably would have dug it.
But we'll never know.
We'll never know, because we won't talk about it next week. Now, next week, Kent, our dear friend Mike Stibbs is filling in yet again. And that means when Stibbs is in, he gets to pick a movie.
Oh, dear God. I feel bad for all of you.
And so here's what we're doing. We are going to the streaming service.
Oh, my God. Is this something that doesn't even exist?
No, the streaming service exists. It's called Tubi. It's available on. Now, if I remember right, Kent, this is the one that has 100,000 ads. So the movie
it's free, but you pay the price.
It's an hour and a half, so it'll take about 2 hours to watch. So we are watching a movie from 1999.
Oh, my God.
Titled Drop Dead Gorgeous. Never seen it.
It's good. It's entertaining.
All right, perfect. It looks like a beauty pageant type situation, Kent.
Yeah. It's funny.
All right, perfect. So that's the movie that we will be doing next week. So it is available. It's also, as Stibbs writes, it's on Plex. Also, it's on DVD at Stibbs' house. He has it on DVD if any of us want to borrow.
Now, I remember this.
At Stibbs and watch a DVD with it?
If you want to watch it on DVD, it's at Stibbs'
Why is it finally Stibbs picks like something that looks like somewhat normal?
Yeah, this is his first normal movie
actually
ever.
looks like I've never seen it, but I do remember hearing about it, and it looks like it's rather interesting.
Yep. Sorry, John.
Wow.
Yep.
Unbelievable, Stibbs.
Well, you never ask him to fill in with you when I'm gone, so maybe you need to do that on some Friday in the future.
Because I'm afraid that he's going to pick another one of his usual weird movies.
That is usually what he does. Now, he does add normal is a stretch. He puts normal in quotes.
Well, it's a black comedy.
We love black comedies.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
All right, perfect. So that's available on Plex, whatever the hell that is. It's on Tubi. Those are both free services, which means ads. And yes, it is available on DVD if you want to buy it on DVD. Or you could rent it on Amazon probably for $3, and then there are no ads.
Maybe.
I think if my mind is correct, I think this is kind of the movie that made Kirsten Dunst kind of a bigger name. She starred in it, and
yeah, it's before Spider-Man, so at the very least, she hadn't done that for a few more years after this.
So I think this. The first one where, and I may be wrong on that, but it's one of her earlier ones.
All right. Well, awesome. Looking forward to it.
That'll be next Friday on the movie club. So, you mentioned tonight's game. You've got Dante Moore on one side and you have Mendoza on the other. Are you rooting for anyone in this game, or are you literally just watching to see which quarterback would look better in silver and black?
Option B. I have no dog in this fight. Much like last night, I had no dog in that fight and found that to be a pretty entertaining game by the end.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. Well, and then we have NFL tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. Nebraska basketball tomorrow.
Yes. And then my big fun weekend ends with a top 25 women's basketball matchup on Sunday.
Wow, busy weekend for everybody around here.
Yeah,
both men's teams play tomorrow. Both women's teams play on Sunday.
Yep.
NFL playoffs, college football playoff, a lot of stuff, and a movie to watch for next week.
Well, for some of you.
On Tubi.
Well, Kent, enjoy the weekend, whatever it is you get from it. Of course, when you're retired, it's like every day is a weekend. So
that's correct. It's like you have to remember what day's what. Seriously. It's like, is this Tuesday or Wednesday or what?
Well, that's what I was saying during Christmas break.
I'm glad that the movie club is here to reset Kent, because he'll know it's always Friday.
That's true.
Every Friday. There you go.
This is the only day every week that Kent knows. Otherwise, he's like, what day is it again?
I don't know. Who knows? Well, Kent, have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you next time.
Sounds great.
There you go.
Thanks, Kent.
Kent Wolgamott joining us every week in the movie club. Drop Dead Gorgeous next week on Tubi.
Nice.
You probably can't download off Tubi, can you? If I wanted to watch on the plane.
Yeah, I don't know. You should go check it out. Probably not, though, because of the ad situation.
Yeah.
I was going to say, could you join us? Because John won't be here because he is going to be at a game that he is about to call.
Yeah, you're in Providence next Friday.
That's an early game, right? Though it's at 5:30.
5:30.
So you probably couldn't join us for movie club even if you watched it.
Yeah, because
I have to do Mac stuff.
Yeah, we'll be in the arena, and
bummer.
That's around the time I would be doing interviews.
Yeah, that's an early Friday night game.
It is.
Yes, it's 5:30 tip. 5 o'clock pregame.
Off early on a Friday. That's not what I want to do.
I mean, it sounds like an intriguing movie.
I'm pretty pumped. Good job by you, Stibbs.
So we'll have to see.
Mhm.
All right. Well, still to come. We've got to review the phase 1.
Oh boy.
I got some Josh Dix numbers. We didn't get to the Big East job rankings
Oh yeah.
yesterday. We've got the DeMond Williams stuff. Oh, and
So many things.
And Rob Manfred still sucks.
Super Friends Roundtable, predictions.
A lot
You
of
got
stuff.
Time for everything?
Well, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Coming up on 1620 The Zone, and coming up this weekend, of course, it's Wild Card Weekend, and this is a grand opportunity. If you haven't done so already, your New Year's resolution, download the Underdog Fantasy app. Why? Because with Underdog, you can make picks and win money. And this weekend, in time for Wild Card Weekend, you get a gimme pick. Just pick any quarterback. It doesn't matter what they do. That can be part of your win. They could go out and pick other players and determine whether or not you think they'll do better or worse, higher or lower on stats like touchdowns, receiving yards, passing yards, and a whole lot more, fantasy points. It's all available right there on one very easy to use app. But you got to download that Underdog app, and no, you don't have to go to Iowa to play. You can make picks and win money right now in Nebraska with Underdog.
John, use the promo code 1620 The Zone. You can score $75 of bonus entries when you play your first $5, whether it's the game tonight in college, all of the games this weekend in the pros and beyond. Again, use that promo code 1620 The Zone. Underdog, make picks, win money. Must be 19 plus and present in Nebraska. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com for details. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
Nebraska has a new commit out of the portal. They're going back to UCLA. Don't worry, this guy has not been to 4 other schools. If that's a thing that worries you. Remember yesterday, the defensive edge rusher, Anthony Jones. Thank you.
Yep.
Easy enough name to remember. 5 schools in 5 years.
Yep.
But one of the top receivers from UCLA is now headed to Nebraska with still 2 more years to play. I mean, he's only played 2, so theoretically he would have 2 more years to play. Quasi Gilmer, sophomore from Los Angeles, had 50 catches last year, 4 touchdowns. You famously have said, I am never, ever, ever, ever again going to get jacked up and excited about the new hot transfer receiver. Because ever since Trey Palmer, it's been all downhill from there.
It's been a lot of the mid boys. So that's what I'm doing with this.
Doesn't this make you feel better, though? His numbers are kind of mid.
You know what they are? It's an Isaiah Hunter-like. And Isaiah Hunter came in with true freshman numbers very similar to these. You know what? Now I'm going to pull them up real fast.
Yeah, Gilmer had 50 catches, averaged 10.7 a catch, 4 touchdowns, 4 catches a game.
All right.
What was Isaiah Hunter?
All right, so you say catches. And
2 years ago.
Okay, so what was his catch
50
number?
catches.
40.
535 yards.
578.
Oh, so he had a better average, 10.7.
14-4. And then
4 touchdowns.
5. Now, Hunter, this is not a discussion to crap on Hunter, by the way, because he upped his catches by 3.
Sure.
He upped his yards by 40-ish. His yards per carry was essentially the same, 14.3, same number of touchdowns. But it's more of the Jamal Banks and Dane Key type guys that have really, seemingly let me down. It could be cool. It could be great, John. It could be awesome. It could be
great.
It could be another 500.
That is a ringing endorsement.
It's just hard, isn't it? It's just hard.
It is.
Is that unfair? Am I being unfair that I'm going to meet every piece of news this offseason?
No, because I think
with
a lot
shrug?
of people. I think a lot of people are. I think a lot of folks are tired of the whole offseason national championship thing and getting worked into a shoot about how great everything's going to be, and then be let down. Sometimes it's better just to go in with low expectations. Be a Bears fan. Bears fans every year. Oh, we're going to suck. And then like a year comes along like this year. Now, Ben Johnson ain't walking through that door. But
no, I don't think he'll be leaving the Bears to come coach the Nebraska.
Or a Ben Johnson-like person ain't walking through that
unless
door.
Maybe Dan Holgerson finds the fountain of youth again, the playbook of youth again, and starts calling better plays.
Oh, you mean he's going to run the fun, the not the run and shoot.
The fun and gun?
The fun and gun. The fun is done.
The fun is done. The fun has definitely been done around here.
I'm sorry, the air raid? Because that would be the playbook of his youth.
Now, let me ask you about this. He still has another game to go in college, or another game to go this season, because Miami's playing in the national championship game. Charmar Brown.
Why are we assuming he's going to leave?
No, I was just going to ask you, would that move your needle if he left and came to Nebraska? Also, I think people are assuming he's going to leave because there's enough chatter from the right places with ties around here that I think it's like kind of an expectation now. It just seems like the people that I listen to that know what they're talking about are talking about that to the point where it seems like it could be happening.
Well, maybe that's why
no Grumball yet, though.
Maybe that's why Kenneth Williams was told there's no more money for you.
Because they're getting Charmar Brown. I would feel at least a little better about the running back room, because I can't believe this oddity that people are talking themselves into this running back room, running it back next year. Hey, you remember the best part of the 2025 running back room? Yeah, Emmett Johnson. What if we did the same group, but without Emmett? That doesn't make any sense to me.
No, it doesn't.
I can't imagine that that's the way they're going.
No, you have the freshman rule that's coming in that, not related.
Not related. There's no H.
No relation.
Drop the H. Yeah.
Yeah, like you know what? I'm fine. I'm fine with a little skepticism, or maybe a lot of skepticism. I'm fine with it. I guess.
Scoop. Yeah, I was going to say this is a good time to talk about the poll question.
Might as well. So the phase 1 polling is done after a week. Once again, last year, same poll, same questions, 1 year ago, exactly 1 year ago. 58% thought Nebraska would have an 8-4 or better record. and 37% thought it would be 6 or 7 wins. So when you combine those two numbers together, it equaled almost 95% as what we call positivity.
Yeah.
And that was coming off the Pinstripe Bowl. Today, a little different.
Mm-hmm.
The winner of the overall vote, and again, the options were 3 wins or worse, 4 or 5 wins, 6 or 7 wins, and 8 wins or better. The winner of the poll was actually the 4 or 5 win crowd, 44.8%.
Wow. The sub 500 boys.
6 and 6 or 7 and 5 got 42.5% of the vote. And the 8 win or better crowd was a measly 5.2%. There were more people that thought 3 wins or worse than voted 8 wins or more.
That is bonkers.
Which, ladies and gentlemen,
that's an all-timer.
It's an all-time low. We have been doing this survey. This is the 6th year that we've done our 4 phases. The previous low for 6 wins or better was 52% coming off of the COVID year and going into the winter of 2021, 52%. That was the lowest. This year, it's at 47.8%. Easily the lowest of all time. And if you go back to 2021, look how much it jumped in the spring, added a little bit more in the summer. And by the end of the 2021 offseason, going into that year, the optimism was at basically 75%. So it took a pretty healthy jump.
And it always does, right? The next year it started at 57.5 and ended at 79.1. 2023 it started at 55.9 and ended at 72.8. The next year 74.7 and then up to 95.3. And even last year, it couldn't move that much.
It couldn't move that much.
At 94.9.
It was consistently positive.
And it finished at 97.5. So there will be an uptick, but I feel safe in saying that it will not reach anywhere near any of the other numbers. And I wonder, what news? I mean, look, they've added a quarterback. They haven't added a running back yet. They still don't have a defensive line coach yet. Like, what's happening with all of these positions? Like, there will be an uptick, but oof.
And the same with the 8 and 4 or better crowd. I mean, 5%, easily the lowest ever. Even in Matt Rule's first year.
Wow.
The lowest it ever got was 6.8% voting 8 wins or more. It's at 5.3 currently.
Man, when you put it that way, less optimism than year one. Not where you want to be. And it's a combination of multiple factors.
Sure.
One, the vibes at this moment in time. And a reminder, that's like the best part of this question is it's a total vibes play.
Yeah.
Because you don't know the roster at all yet. You don't know who the quarterback is. I mean, now we do. But you don't know a lot of questions. This is total vibes play. But it's also because of the schedule. And the schedule for next year on paper looks very, very difficult.
Now, a lot of things can change. We will see. But as Josh mentioned, the trend every year is that it generally optimism rises as we get closer to the season.
Rises.
Will we see that same trend? And will it be a bigger jump as people get off of their feels? Or will it stay a malaise? Or dare I say, will it go lower?
Great question.
We don't know. We've never seen it go lower.
No.
So I'm not necessarily predicting that will happen. But again, it begs a question for a coach that is very public relations conscious and loves to be out in front of things and loves to, generate the positivity. With this season starting off at a lower point than any of his other seasons, and he's going into year 4, which for him is somewhat unprecedented. He's only done it one other stop.
One other time.
Will his offseason tact change? Will it stay the same? Will the messaging be different? Will we still see the gimmicks? Will things get more not buttoned up, but will things get more bunkered down? Will there be less of Matt Rule? Or will it just be different Matt Rule? Or does he double down and really get out there and beat the drum and say, we got good things going. We got a new O-line coach. We got a new defensive coordinator. I'm actually going to let him put in the defense that he wants to put in.
Good question.
We have this new quarterback that I think is going to be great.
Good questions. Because we're still early and they still
Yeah, we're
are
early.
figuring out a lot of stuff right
We're
now.
early.
But once we get past this, once we get into spring, what are those things going to look like and sound like and feel
Because
like?
while some people will sit back and say, well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We've never had a coach that has been so PR conscious.
Yeah, if it
as
didn't
this
matter,
one.
then he wouldn't put so much time and effort into it.
Right. I mean, he obviously does.
Yeah, he
You
cares
know, the
about it.
podcasting, and this is not being critical. It's just how he likes to operate. It's his way of doing things. We can argue whether or not the bits work or not, or the gimmicks work or not. But this is who he is. Does he change a little bit of who he is, or does it just simply the messaging change?
Paul writes on the Equitable Bank inbox, I like a little skepticism going into a season. While I like Rule, he can come off like a used car salesman, so I think he knows he can't sit there and sell us anymore.
There are more people.
He knows he has to show us going forward.
The whole used car salesman bit, I mean, that criticism, which is, I mean, it was there from the beginning, mostly coming from Carolina Panther fans.
And Scott Shanley.
Give
him his flowers.
That has become the overriding thing. Stop selling me. Stop being a used car salesman. Shut up. That conversation has gotten louder.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, does it mean that a majority of people think that way? I have no idea. But the pessimism has never been higher, at least in terms of our polling.
Mm-hmm.
Take that for what it's worth. All right, we'll have more coming up. Stick around. We're getting close to a One Beer Friday. Send us the pics of what you're drinking this Friday, this weekend. Use the hashtag One Beer Friday, and we'll hook you up. One lucky person with a $25 gift card to Cross Train.
Lovely.
From 1620 The Zone. Did you see this? Did you hear about this? DJ Lagway apparently has.
I just saw that.
While he is committed to Baylor, he says he's still going to take other visits.
I did see this,
So,
including one of them. Did you see what one of them could be?
Nebraska?
No, thank God.
Oh,
Miss.
Well, that's because,
Trinidad
Chambliss found out today he's not getting a 6th year. The
Now,
NCAA actually said, no, we're not going to give you a 6th year.
I actually was talking to somebody recently who has a source inside of the NCAA and was told, yeah, they're not going to approve this. So I'd been operating under that assumption for a couple weeks. And sure enough, the news comes down. I don't know. I mean, a lot of the reaction inside of the college football sphere was he had a pretty good argument. I think he's played like 2.5 seasons worth. Now, in the past, when a player would get injured and miss out on a year, like, sorry, those are the rules.
Right.
That's
he just played a quarterback who's finishing his 7th year.
I know, exactly. So I'm not surprised by this. That would be quite the step back, in my opinion, for Ole Miss if they went from Chambliss to DJ Lagway, because I don't think that player is very good. Very talented, but I don't think he's a very good quarterback.
What if they went from Chambliss to
Damon Williams?
Dylan Raiola. Well, it ain't going to be Damon.
It's not going to be Damon because he's going back to Washington.
Did you hear this? Did you see this? Did you read about this? Damon Williams is going to come back. Yesterday, almost in this exact same time, the question was posed.
Yep.
Do you think there's ever a chance he'd come back? No. He's already burned all his bridges. Jed Fish's own wife took after him on social media.
What did she say? I missed that.
I didn't see what she said. I just read that she apparently was critical of him on social media.
Jed Fish's wife? No, not her.
And remember, Williams had the same representation as Jed Fish until yesterday when Jed Fish's representation said, yeah, I'm not representing that quarterback anymore because of philosophical differences. But then last night came news that there has been dialogue between Washington and Williams, and the Huskies apparently are saying, yeah, come on back. Even though you tried to ditch us, even though you signed a contract with us.
I mean, so
come on back.
Here's the thing. It's better than the alternative for Washington, is it not?
What's the alternative?
Not having Damon Williams at your quarterback position. He's a good quarterback, and there would be continuity.
Yeah, but now that continuity comes with a lot of mistrust and a lot of, what are you doing?
Sure.
And, and hard feelings.
You personally would be really hard to get over.
Yeah. The guy said he was coming in. He signed a deal.
And then he said,
and everyone knows how much it's worth.
Sure. That's true.
And then he said, no, I got this other hot chick I want to go see. So yeah, I'm gone. Absolutely, this should cause a problem. I hope it does cause a problem.
I was going to bring up a relationship analogy and try to figure out, like, did he cheat on them, or did he say I'm stepping outside of the marriage, but then he got turned down, and so then he is coming back to the marriage? That's kind of what happened, right? He was like, I really want to leave this marriage.
Well,
and then he was like, see you later. I'm leaving this marriage. But he only wanted to go to one specific partner. And they were like, no. And he was like, crap, I guess I'll go back to my marriage.
Let me throw you an example, a local example. Now, obviously, it ended up turning out well for all parties. But Dana Altman left Creighton.
He did.
He left them. He went down there.
He did Woo Pig Suey.
Did the whole Woo Pig Suey. And then realized the next day.
Weird.
Not good.
Freakazoids.
And then Creighton brought him back. And it was not the same.
It was not.
Now, today, of course, Dana's still hailed as he should be. But
yeah,
it was never the same after that.
It was not. That's a great comparison. But I mean, it worked okay. It worked okay. It wasn't as good as it had been, but it worked okay.
Well, it just kind of
was so awkward.
It just existed.
Yeah.
It just existed. And it eventually led to, they got the offer from Oregon. And then, of course, that was
And then Creighton brings in McDermott. They take a next step as a program. Like you said, it was great for all parties, except for those awkward few years. Yeah, and so now this is a marriage. It's not a marriage kind of by choice, but it's more of an arranged marriage now, because I would love to know. That's why I asked you the question yesterday. Who was trying to get him to transfer? Was it him or was it his agent? And did the agent leaving him tell us one or the other? Because I don't really know.
Well, it'd be stunning for me if the agent had anything to do with it, because that's Jed Fish's agent. Why would Jed Fish's own agent tell another one of his clients who happened to be Jed Fish's quarterback, yeah, you need to go somewhere else? I think he left him because he was mad at him because somebody else got in his ear and said, hey, do this other thing.
For sure.
Or Lane Kiffin or somebody, because of the obviously the other program was LSU. See, now going back to the Dana Altman situation, the thing that at least made that a softer landing was Bruce Rasmussen, because Bruce was willing to take him back and those two were friends. But it still wasn't the same. This is different, where you've got friendships to repair. And
because there are early reports a couple nights ago was that Washington's players were like blown away by this.
Of course, and they should be.
No.
And remember, they're 18, 19, 20, 21, 22-year-old.
Sure.
You know, it's a little harder sometimes to navigate those types of waters.
Corbin writes on Blue Sky, John, if I'm Fish in Washington, it would be a very difficult decision to let Williams start next year.
Yeah. And what happens, because remember, Williams was good last year, except when he played Oregon, Michigan, and Ohio State. There, he sucked.
Sure.
What happens the first time, assuming he's starting again, assuming he's playing again?
That it goes south for them?
The first time it goes south, guess what? People are going to turn on him. Even those who said, we'll give him another chance, will turn on him just like that. Things will have to go pretty doggone well next year.
Yeah.
For that not to get ugly again, because that uncertainty of you wanted to leave me is always going to be there.
It's quite the line have to walk.
It's a bad situation.
Yeah, it certainly is.
It's a bad situation. Now, apparently one of the things that kind of turned everything around, Ross Dellinger said this situation is a good example of how the Big Ten's template rev share contract limits movement. Because the Big Ten has this template rev share contract that everyone uses in the conference.
Mm-hmm.
The buyout provisions and the rev share reductions built in these contracts are mechanisms to stabilize rosters. They will likely find a courtroom at some point. It was expected that this was going to be the case that challenged the validity of that Big Ten template. Well, apparently,
and so he didn't even want to fight it anymore.
He didn't want to fight it.
Probably doesn't help that he didn't have his agent anymore.
Now, he did have another attorney that was willing to represent him.
Sure.
But
interesting.
And the other thing that it brings up too, I saw this. Now, this was coming from an Oregon site, and they have a rivalry with Washington.
They hate him, yeah.
But this was another tweet from one of those sites. Amazing comedy. DeMond enters an entire team, and fan base turns on him, including Fish's wife trashing him on Instagram. DeMond and lawyer realize his contract has a buyout in new school, have to pay $4 million. Every school interested says no thanks because he isn't good enough to be worth anything near that. Williams has zero options, returns back to UW. UW so desperate that Jed and co. allow him to come back. Strong culture.
Yeah, I mean, it really is now.
So it does say something, too, about Washington.
Yeah, it's an arranged marriage now. Because, he is probably the best that they could get at quarterback, at least at this stage of the game. You know, they had an agreement with him, so they were like, sweet, we're done. We're not looking around anymore. I mean, you're getting to the scraps heap in terms of quarterbacks now at this point in time. And they don't have a second portal to try to go after anybody. And so, yeah, I mean, I wonder what the conversations were like with Jed Fish and his coaches and with Jed Fish and his wife, after what she said. I mean, it really is like all right, I guess this is what we're doing. And you just hope that it does not end terribly. And that you're right. I mean, it's a great point. First bad game at home, especially. Throws a bad pick, they lose late, whatever. And he's the reason why.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of vitriol are we going to see in the stands? What kind of frustration is there going to be on the sidelines? And how does he earn back that trust? Because look, there have been marriages before where people have stepped out and they stay together. Sometimes for the kids, there's a Blink-182 song with that name. And other times because they make up. But you have to imagine that in those relationships, it's always there in the back of the head. And that trust takes a long time to earn back. And so what does that look like for Washington? And look, he might only be there for a year, and then he's probably gone anyway because this is college. It's not a long-term contract. But, wow, yeah, Strigori, the contract template Washington used, that apparently most of the Big Ten uses, might become very popular.
Well, it might become very popular, but like everything else, now it didn't happen in this case, but somewhere somebody is going to challenge it in court. And will it stand up?
Good question. Very good
If
question.
you're the Big Ten, you're like, well, let's hope that holds out for just a little while longer. By the way, you mentioned the pickings were slim at quarterback. You know, Washington is an Adidas.
Oh, that's true. They could have gotten Dylan Raiola. Nary a word about him still.
Now, wouldn't that be funny if Washington pivoted and went out and got Dylan and then just cut Williams loose? Just said, nope, we'll let you out of the contract now.
That would be amazing.
Now, I don't know what provisions are in the contract that hold the school accountable, but.
Yeah, why not Horberg? Scrap heap. That's no way to talk about Dylan Raiola.
You laugh now.
I think he's going to end up at the U. I think he is going to be a Miami Hurricanes quarterback. No inside info, no intel. I think that's what's going down. I think that's maybe why it's been so quiet.
Well, we will see.
Yep,
maybe it'll be a 1-for-1 trade. Marty Brown for.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Nebraska's getting Carson back. I was going to say no, please. I don't like watching him play quarterback.
Marty Brown for Dylan
Raiola. I think people would take that trade.
Oh, they certainly.
They got a running quarterback now, and they get Marty Brown. Sign him up. Sign him up.
All right. The happy hour is next. One Beer Friday is next. Send us a pic of what you're drinking. Use the hashtag One Beer Friday. We'll make sure to retweet them, and we'll pick one at random this weekend if Nick can get out of the sick bed.
Come on, Nick. Help us out, baby.
And someone will win $25 to Cross Strain, the official sponsor of One Beer Friday from 1620 The Zone.
I drank beer with my friends. Sometimes I had too many beers. I liked beer. I still like beer. Had beers, have some beers. One beer, drink beer, drinks beer, drank beer, and drinking beer.
Upstairs, downstairs, where was it? I don't know, but I had one beer.
Friday!
You probably have beer center each week. Ralph Club, biggest contributor.
Beer for that. I like beer. I don't know if you like beer, Senator, or not. What do you like to drink?
Next
I had one beer. Friday. Yeehaw!
Hanging out and having some beers with friends, which I gladly do, and which I fully embrace.
Well, you think it was... Nope, there was one beer. Friday.
It is Cross Train. One Beer Friday. Brought to you by Cross Train Brewing Company, makers of the Cornhusker Crusher, the official craft beer of Nebraska Athletics. Today, I've got their Dunkel Breaking My Heart, which is one of my favorite punny names they have given their many different beers. This is a German-style dark lager. I believe it's pronounced lager. The G is silent or soft. It's a soft G. Lager.
Pretty good song, too.
Dunkel Breaking My Heart.
Yeah.
I have the inflatable snowman.
Elton John sings it.
Which tastes like Christmas in a can. Our last one, so I figured might as well have this. Very tasty, very tasty. What do you got, Joey?
I got the gas station cheeseburger.
That's always a good choice as well.
I thought I'd give it a try.
Nice.
Take a pick of what you're drinking. Celebrate the fact that, well,
weekend's here.
The weekend is here.
First full week for many of us.
Yeah, it's been like the first
Not a
real
full week
week
for
of
me.
work in 2026.
Not for Joey, though. Shout out to Joey.
I flew back on Tuesday.
You did?
A little
At
short
least I
week for
didn't
Joey.
spend 6 hours at the Denver airport like I did on my way out.
That is true. Never want to spend 6 hours at any airport.
So that was the day after the Packers-Bears game, the onside kick.
Ultimate
And
pain.
obviously, Creighton played Marquette, and shoot-around ended near midnight. I had to get up at like 3 o'clock to get to the Uber, get to the airport. I had a 6 o'clock
Should have
flight.
had John taking you.
Nah, I want to let him sleep.
Oh, that's nice of
But
you, Joey.
anyway, could not sleep through the night, so I was up for like over 30 hours.
Oh my
from that
gosh,
day.
Joey. That ain't good.
I think I posted a picture of me pointing at a deer, and you could tell how close my eyes were to being glued shut.
Oh, I bet.
It was a headache.
Oh, I bet.
Going to Denver, staying there for 6 hours until I got my Denver Air Connect flight.
Nice.
But yeah, good 2 weeks.
Have you heard about this story involving former Minnesota Viking Matt Khalil?
No.
Do
you want to tell it to me?
He's going through some things with his now ex-wife.
Okay.
And he had to file a lawsuit.
Oh,
against
wait.
her.
Okay, I have seen this.
He had to file a lawsuit against her. Because apparently the ex has been very public with her comments regarding how big Matt is.
Oh, so she was saying it was really, really tiny. That's mean, John. That's mean.
No. Quite opposite. Quite opposite.
Yeah. Oh,
she was complaining about how really, really big Matt was.
Well, Matt and me handshake meme. We know Matt. I know the feeling. I know how that goes.
And so you're wondering now. Wait a minute. That sounds like a
compliment.
That sounds like a really, really big compliment.
Yeah, the biggest compliment, John.
But
yeah, what could she have said that's so bad?
But Matt Khalil was upset because it has brought on undue attention to how really, really big Matt is. I believe let's see, I'm looking for the exact terms from the lawsuit.
It said Coke cans, right?
Yes, it did. So she was on a.
Well, she claimed that the
She was on
size
a
of it was the
podcast
primary reason that this happened.
that they got divorced
Yeah.
because apparently it was too big.
Wow.
And she, in the stream that she was on, she described Matt as 2 Coke cans, maybe a third.
Oh my gosh. So like a 1 beer Friday can?
Matt says that because of those remarks, he has been subjected to unwanted attention and invasive commentary from the public.
And that she's been able to financially benefit from this surge in traffic. Doing it for the clicks.
Yes. So that's why he sued. Well, today, the ex Mrs. Khalil, Haley is her name.
Yeah.
Said that she has every right to exercise her, quote, sexual sovereignty.
I guess so.
By discussing how big Matt is.
And you don't say that word lightly, apparently.
2 Coke cans, maybe a third.
Maybe a third. That's a lot of Coca-Cola.
So,
as you enjoy your 1 beer Friday, you
One Beer Friday,
you can think about that.
In a very
and a tall boy.
It's actually a bigger than a Coke can.
Stack them on top of each other, John. Stack them on top of each other.
I would rather not.
All right.
I would rather not. I don't say this very often, so I want you to be just want you to enjoy this for the moment that it is.
Yeah.
Thank you, Texas Longhorns.
What did they do?
And thank you, Michigan Wolverines.
What did they do?
They played each other in a football game on New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
That thankfully was on opposite Nebraska's bowl game.
But you watched Nebraska's bowl game because you did Big Red Overreaction.
Well, I say thank you in that because of the 9 million viewers that the Citrus Bowl got, it cut into the Vegas Bowl audience. That game only drew 3 million viewers. Imagine if it weren't for Texas and Michigan, maybe more people would have been subject to that awful, awful game, especially after the first quarter.
Well, I just saw this. It said a new high for a non-CFP bowl game.
Yes, 9 million viewers.
Who are these people?
People that weren't watching Nebraska and Utah.
It peaked with 15 million viewers.
So, Husker
Who
fan,
are these people
who are tired of being embarrassed?
Yeah.
I want you to send your thank you cards
to
the University of Texas at Austin Athletic Department in Austin, Texas.
Okay.
And the University of Michigan at Ann Arbor Athletic Department.
Incredible.
In Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Incredible.
Because of them.
Fewer
people got to watch Nebraska.
That is bonkers, man.
Got
that is
to
absolutely bonkers.
It is bonkers. It is bonkers.
Also, it just shows too the power of holidays and people being home or people being in other people's homes. You know? That it shows the power of I got nothing going on New Year's Eve because I'm not doing anything right now. I'm sitting around with my mom, my dad, my grandparents, my uncles, my aunts, my cousins.
Took a day trip to Colorado Springs, went to In-N-Out Burger.
He took a day trip to Colorado Springs.
The more you think about it, New Year's Eve day is probably a great time to put, sports programming.
Oh, it's an awesome day for it, for sure.
Because not everybody works on that day and all their activities are at night. So they're just kind of.
Yeah, they're lounging around before they get dressed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
It's a perfect place to watch.
Michigan and Texas instead of Nebraska and Utah.
Nebraska ball getting ready for Indiana. We talked about this yesterday with Robin Washut of HuskerOnline.com. I think Nebraska in many ways is kind of looking into a mirror when they look at Indiana.
Tell me more.
Well, they both shoot a lot of threes. Heavy on the 3-point rate. Nebraska is 15th in the country in 3-point rate, and Indiana's 19th. Both make them at a pretty decent clip. Both good around the rim. Nebraska is 18th in 2-point field goal percentage, and Indiana's 14th.
Wow. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Also, both teams are old AF. Nebraska's got a lot of age and experience. Mast and Hoiberg and Lawrence. And Indiana, their top 6 guys are all seniors. So in a lot of ways, there's some similarities there in those matchups. Now, as far as defense is concerned, and this is where Nebraska's really been buttering its bread as of late. Defensively, they've been playing lights out. In fact, you look back, their best defensive performance of the year is against Creighton. According to, I'm using Bart Torvik and the game score.
The second one is it Michigan State?
Second is Michigan State.
Yeah.
Ohio State wasn't as good, but still very good.
Yeah.
Very good. And
they've been very consistent on defense. There's a couple of outliers. Oklahoma's an outlier. And then oddly, Winthrop and USC or USC Upstate are outliers, and Kansas State.
Right.
Everything else has been pretty consistent.
Indiana has had some moments, but for example, gave up 80 to Washington a couple of games ago. But they are coming. Indiana is coming off of a lopsided road win at Maryland, which has helped put some air in their sails. They've won 4 straight. Their last loss was to Kentucky. Their losses this year to Minnesota, Louisville, and Kentucky. So at least a couple of quality losses in there, though a lot of folks in Lexington right now don't think of Kentucky being quality anything right now. That also happened to be the one time where Indiana could not make a 3 to save their lives. They were only 4 of 24. But this is a team that makes a lot of threes, has been really good at it. And that's the strange thing. Nebraska, in really 3 out of their last 4 games,
I was going to say,
has not really been good shooting the 3. Obviously, they were against Michigan State because they were so bad at 2s.
Yeah.
But again, they won that game with defense.
Yeah, I was going to say, we talk about them almost still it's the early part of the season, but they have very much been winning with defense. The total on this game, by the way, we do have the line, 149.5 points, and it is Indiana minus 3.5. So just a little closer than the Bart number of about 5 for Nebraska. I think, watching the game Monday, given that it came off of the Friday win from 2 perspectives. 1, emotionally, where would they be? 2, where would they be with their legs? I thought that the legs component really showed itself. Price Sanford had a lot of threes that didn't really have that arc. They were more kind of line drives. The team looked tired. Now, a few more days to get rested up and to get ready to go. That's kind of the thing that I'm wondering is how does that show itself in another game on the road? So back-to-back road games. And this is going to be the first time they were favored against Michigan State. They were favored against Ohio State. This will be their first of this.
No, weren't they underdogs to Ohio State?
Were they? I thought that they were favored. No, you might be right. It was like a short 1.5, 2.5 type situation.
Yeah, I think they're they were underdogs to Ohio State.
Yeah, and so this one another time for them to be an underdog.
Lamar Wilkerson has been their stud this year, 42% from the field from 3. Tucker DeVries, who of course is Darren DeVries, head coach's son, actually having his worst year shooting the deep ball, but still pretty efficient. He's efficient in the mid-range game, really good at the free throw line. But like I said, and this is it's a big team too, right? You got a big front line. Wilkerson's a big guard at 6'6". Bailey, their center, is 6'10". DeVries, who's their 3-4 guy, is 6'7". So I mean, there's some size in there. It's a really interesting matchup. It's certainly one where you would understand if Nebraska lost, but think about this if Nebraska wins.
Yeah, because then the schedule lightens up a little bit.
It lightens up a lot. Oregon is not themselves.
No.
Northwestern, now that's on the road, but Nebraska will be favored in the next 5 games.
Yeah, Oregon lost last night by 10 to Ohio State. They were down by more points at one point in time. Yeah, you're right. They got Oregon, they got Northwestern, they got DeMond Williams in Washington. Then they have Minnesota. 4 straight games that they'll be favored in, a couple of them by double digits or thereabouts.
Right.
And then the Michigan game. Yeah, you're right. You get this one, and man, I mean, then the question becomes about them, and I asked this of Robin yesterday, are you excited to see them against lesser Big Ten competition? Because then the expectation is going to be, you keep doing it when you're dogs or a really short favorite. Like the expectation is going to be that they go undefeated in that 4-game stretch, even though 2 of them are going to be on the road. I can't wait to see what happens. I can't wait to see what happens with this team. They've responded very well. Every bit of praise and pole climbing, if you will, every bit of that they've responded well to. You win this one, and I haven't looked at the exact teams in front of them and where they're sitting, but top 8, top 7, and where could you be over the course of the next few weeks ahead of that Michigan game on Tuesday, the 27th?
So it's a great opportunity.
Yeah.
I understand why Indiana's favored, but let's see how this team continues to respond. And even if they were to lose it, again, not that big a deal.
Yeah.
I think this team is built differently. I think mentality, they're better that way.
For sure.
What will be interesting is now you're no longer a surprise. People are no longer underestimating you. And believe me, the head coach on the other bench is not underestimating you.
Definitely not.
He doesn't like you.
Mm-hmm. I don't like you either.
And I'll be curious if D-Rock's prep for this game has been anything like the preps he used to put together for Creighton. I know, different circumstances, in-state rivalry, all that stuff. But D-Rock has always had a extra burr in his saddle about Nebraska, about the color red. He's a native Iowan.
And that's good, right, for Indiana
Sure
in this
it is.
game. I mean, you're right. No one's overlooking Nebraska anymore.
Also,
anyway.
it's an early game, too. It's an 11
It's
o'clock.
way early. Yeah, that's the first game of the day.
It's an 11 o'clocker. So
I mean,
you better be ready from the jump. Because
mentioned-
has Nebraska played an 11 o'clock game this year? What time was the Illinois game?
The Illinois game was a late afternoon game.
Yeah, that's
Ended
right,
at
it
night.
was.
Yeah. I don't think that they have. And it sets up, we talked about this with Kent earlier. I mean, locally, and then with national stuff that you and I are interested in, and many of our audience members are interested in the football. I mean, you got stuff all the time. You got a playoff game tonight. You got basketball game, and then playoff tomorrow night. And then Sunday, you got all the playoff games. You got both of the women's games as well. And then you have another game on Monday. I mean, it's a real fun weekend with a couple different sports here.
Of course, tomorrow at 1, we'll have Creighton and St. John's from CHI Health Center, Omaha. Did a little research today because I was curious about Josh Dix, the transfer from Iowa, the former Council Bluffs. He is a Council Bluffs, Iowa native. And what he has done this year as the primary on-ball defender. His role this year has been similar to the role Kyrie Thomas had, that Tyshawn Alexander had. Identify the other team's best shooter, put him on him, and go to work. And since Thanksgiving, take a look at these numbers. This is going back to the win over Oregon. These are all against Power 5 guards, right? It's all guys from the Power 5. All of them who were, if not the leading scorer on the team, top 2. The numbers this year that Dix has been able to hold these guys to has been incredible. It's half of their scoring output. So, and we're talking about Jackson Shelstad, the guard from Oregon, PJ Haggerty from Kansas State, who is the number 2 nation scorer. At the time they played, he was the number 1 scorer in the country. He's number 2 scorer in the country. Trey Carroll, the leading scorer at Xavier. Chase Ross at Marquette. Finley Bizjack of Butler. AJ Staten McCray from Villanova, or from Seton Hall, and most recently Bryce Lindsey of Villanova.
I mean, these are incredible numbers.
Those players together, when you add up their totals, average 16.5 points a game. Against Josh Dix, primarily Josh Dix.
Real quick, is that 16.5 counting when they play Creighton, or is that?
That's their current season average.
Wow. So
That's
if you
their
take out the Creighton, their season average would be even higher.
This is just taking all of these guys' point averages and averaging them out.
Okay.
Oops. I went ahead one. 16.5 points per game.
And what is it against Creighton?
8.1.
Wow. So I mean, it's literally cutting in half.
They've cut it in half.
And again, the 16.5 includes these points scored.
15 or field goal percentage. All of these players have an average of 44% field goal shooting. Against Dix, 29%.
Yikes.
3-point shooting. These players all together average about 35% from 3. Against Dix, 18%. 5 of 28. And that was the reason why I wanted to look into this, because Bryce Lindsey, who he just played against Villanova, was the Big East leading 3-point shooter. Averaged the most threes, had the best 3-point average. He's basically 43% from 3. He was held to 0 for 3.
Wow.
0 for 3. So that was kind of my motivation. I'm curious what this is all since Thanksgiving.
Where does this compare? I mean, you mentioned some of the other really good defensive players that you've been seeing since you've been on the call. Where does he compare similarities and differences of what he's able to do, in your opinion?
That's a great question. I would like to ask Mac that because he could give me a better insight. But in terms of the ability to shut the other guys down,
yeah.
I remember it because in Tyshawn's last year, and he lost out in Big East Defensive Player of the Year that season. And I thought that was the incorrect call. He had a kind of a similar run where, he'd go up against the best guard on the other team and it would be a similar result. Obviously, Kyrie Thomas, Kyrie fence, that was the pun that they used because of his length. He was such a unique individual because he had such long reach that he could really do a lot of things. Mac identified Dix as being that guy at the beginning of the season. I wonder if he thought it would be this good.
That's another great question. Yeah. Because, I mean, those numbers are ridiculous.
I mean, to literally cut the scoring total in half, cut the field goal percentage almost in half, reduce the 3-point shooting by half. I mean, it's all, and it's been consistent. And this is every Power 5 guard since Thanksgiving. Not every Power 5 guard, but pretty darn close.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy.
Pretty crazy. So, be interesting to see what his assignment will be tomorrow because St. John's big, burly, and they will go.
Big, strong men.
Big, strong men with tears in their eyes. Hopefully, they'll have tears in their eyes after another loss. Unfortunately, Rick Pitino, there's no snowbank for you to bury yourself.
Yeah, it's 36 degrees right now. It's going to be pretty similar temps tomorrow. 40 degrees on Sunday.
There's no snowbank.
Wow.
There's no snowbank if a snowbank is needed. All right, coming up, we're going to take a look at predictions.
Did you ever get Nick's picks?
Yes, I did.
All right, perfect.
Nick from the sick bed gave me his predictions,
Mr.
which
Sick Boy.
he needed to because he has taken the lead.
Yeah, for now.
He has taken the lead. Had a good week last week. We'll find out what we think about the tonight's game, Oregon and Indiana kicking off in less than 2 hours, and NFL playoff games, plus, of course, the local basketball as well. And the Super Friends Roundtable still coming up with Jack Mitchell on 1620 The Zone.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for predictions. Over, bet the over. Vikings in the over.
All right, Nick, on the strength of 11 correct picks last week, as
How is that possible?
Great question, Joey. Collusion?
because Josh sucks.
No, what does that have to do with him getting 11 right?
Well, you didn't get 11 right.
You didn't either.
Well, yeah, but I'm taking this round off, as I famously said.
You're missing the point Joey and I are trying to make. We're more confused about his success, not my failure or your failure.
He just
Does he
had
have
a
the
good week.
Biff Tannen book from Back to the
Well, if
Future?
he did and didn't get every pick right, that would be
trying
stupid.
to throw us off the scent that he's cheating. I think that's what's going on here.
He's trying to not make it obvious, but he is.
He's still making it obvious. Yeah, see, Joey knows what's up. Joey's got a good thinking cap.
All right, well, we'll start with the NBA.
Whoa.
Ooh, I love the NBA.
Joey, how much NBA are you watching right now?
Only the Celtics. I got the Celtics subscription, the
Very
team
on brand.
pass.
All
It's,
right.
it's worth it. I'll throw on a game whenever I feel like it and see Baylor Shireman hit a shot or two.
All right. Well, this isn't the
And
Celtics
now he's blowing up on social media.
for how he looks.
Yeah.
You'll be able to follow this game by following Jacob Padilla on Twitter. It doesn't matter if it's televised or not.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The Knicks are a 1.5 favorite at the Suns. Nick, of course, is taking his nickname, the Knicks.
I will bing bong with Nick as well.
I'm with you, Jacob. I will take the Suns.
Wow. Joey, what are you
I'm
doing?
going to pick the Suns. I don't like New York. Get Boston in number 2 in the Eastern Conference.
Okay. Celtics have been way better than I thought they would, sadly to say.
They've been pretty good.
This game is not until Sunday, but
Oh, wow.
the Illinois Fighting Illini are at Iowa.
I'll go with the road dog. Give me the Illini to win.
Nick, of course, is taking Iowa.
I'll take Illinois.
I'm going to go Hawkeyes.
All right, so 2-2, couple splits so far.
To the
Let's
NFL playoffs.
Let's go, baby.
Game 1 tomorrow at 3:30. Your America's, the world's team, the LA Rams, visit the stupid expansion Carolina Panthers.
Charlotte, it looks like Omaha, but slightly bigger.
The spread is at 10.5.
Ooh, I'm calling for the Packers Panthers NFC Championship game, but I'm going to pick the Rams.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
That's impossible,
That's impossible.
I know it is impossible. I want that to happen, but I think the Rams are going to win.
You want a rematch of the 1996 NFC Championship game?
Yes, I do.
Interesting. Yeah, give me the Rams. I think they're going to roll here. I think this is going to be a pretty gross game.
I hope it is.
Yeah.
I hope it's decided by the time I get home and I can just kick back and relax.
Put your feetsies up with your slippies on.
Yeah.
love
Nick,
slippers.
by the way, is going with the Panthers.
Of course he is. Good Lord.
The Packers.
Oh.
A 1.5 point
Uh-oh.
road favorite at the Chicago Bears. I'm sorry, Joey. I think the wrong team is favored.
The Bears still suck.
Ah! Look at Joey ready to go. What is
I
Nick-
want the Packers to win. Don't get me wrong. But I think the Bears and the home crowd it'll be enough. I'm not saying the Bears will go far, but I'm going to pick the Bears.
What is Nick doing?
He's also picking the Bears.
Rats, that's 3 for 3 now. So Joey, make it a 1 for 4.
They really suck. Yes, the Bears still suck.
I can't believe
Go Pack, go. Roll out the barrel.
I can't believe how excited I am for this game. I'm pretty jacked up, even though this rivalry is incredibly overrated.
I'm more jacked up to hear Al Michaels.
Oh,
sure.
Colston Loveland over under 46.5 receiving yards. Nick is going over.
I'm going to go over as well. 91 receiving yards against the Lions, 94 against the Niners. That's what he's done in each of the last 2 weeks. That said, he did only have 29 and 30 in the games against the Packers this year, but I'll go over.
Good to go with the under.
I agree. I'll take the under.
Okay.
The Buffalo Bills are a 1-point favorite at the Jacksonville Jaguars. I'll say it again. The wrong team is favored.
Retweet. Give me Jacksonville.
Buffalo's going to win.
Hope you're right, Joey.
Ooh, you are the only one riding with the Bills. Nick is taking the Jags.
Josh Allen.
Let's go, Josh.
He'll find a way to win.
Josh Allen's all-purpose yards. So rushing and passing, maybe receiving.
Sure.
He's Mr. Flash Gordon. He does everything. It's that football fight scene. He's just doing everything.
Nice.
Over under 267.5.
I'm going to go over here. I think the issue with them has been defense all year, not the offense. Give me the over, even though they lose.
I agree with Josh. It's been the defense that's been the problem for the Bills. So give me the over.
I'm going to take the under.
What is Nick doing?
The under.
Okay.
Remember, he hates Josh Allen. The Frisco Niners go on the road to Philadelphia.
Well, this is a 5-point line.
A 5-point line.
Ooh, spicy.
49ers plus 5. Nick likes the Eagles.
Sadly, I agree. What was the score? I'm not being a jerk right now, Joey. What was the score last year when the Eagles played the Packers? Like 21-10?
It was like 22-10, 23-10.
Yeah.
It was a weird score.
I think of that type of game where it's just kind of comfortable for Philadelphia, but it's like if one score could make it interesting, but it never gets interesting.
It's going to be an ugly game.
Very ugly.
It's more going to be an ugly game.
Give me like Eagles 23-11.
Oh, man, it's going to be probably 26-6, I think.
Whoa, Philly?
Probably.
Oh, that'd be a bummer.
San Francisco doesn't have good luck with this official.
Too much happiness for my
head
wife.
referee.
You go Niners?
The Eagles play with their food too much.
Let's go.
I'll take the point.
Let's go, John.
Give me the Niners.
Go Niners.
Saquon rushing yards, 22.5 more than CMC. If I think the Niners are going to keep it close, I think CMC may actually outrush Saquon Barkley. So give me CMC.
Agreed.
Well, based on my score prediction, I'm going to have to go with Saquon, unfortunately.
Nick will also take Saquon. The Chargers plus 3.5 at the Patriots. Far be it for me to root for Jim Harbaugh,
Welcome.
but I am rooting for Jim Harbaugh.
Welcome.
Now, do I think that means they're going to win? No, I'm going to take the Patriots, but I am rooting for the Chargers.
Joey?
Go Chargers, go.
I'm calling for an upset. At the very least, I'm going to call for a cover.
Wow, I'm the only person taking the Patriots.
It feels like it's going to happen.
Of course, it'll be a
Patriots
3-point game.
Patriots don't have a great schedule, and that's kind of what's
People
keeping
forget.
them down.
They're like the 99 Rams, but they won't win
But
the Super Bowl.
anything could happen to the Chargers. They find dumb ways to lose.
No.
Like I said,
Bingo, Joey.
The ghost of Brandon Staley.
The ghost of Brandon Staley. The ghost of Eric Coryell. The ghost of Sam Humphries. The ghost of everybody.
The ghost of Stan Humphries. I forgot Stan Humphries was the damn quarterback. The one time they got to a Super Bowl, it was Stan
of all the
freaking
teams,
Humphries.
Chargers have had fun teams in my lifetime, and that's the dumbass team that makes it.
And then they didn't even show up, and Frisco just said, here's another Jerry Rice touchdown.
Well, there's that one
hey,
season
let's make
where
Steve Young look like a Hall of Famer.
There's that one season where they don't settle for the tie with the Raiders, where both teams get to the postseason. Therefore, the Steelers get in over the Chargers.
Texans -3 against the Steelers. Nick likes the Texans.
I agree with Nick.
I like the Steelers. Go Rodgers.
I'm taking the Steelers. I think they win. I think this will be the big upset. Not big, but which team will score the fewest points on Wild Card Weekend? Nick is taking the Bills.
Panthers.
I hope you're right.
I think the 49ers.
Yeah, you said 26-6.
God, based on all my picks.
I'd like to say the Bears, but I can't count on the Packers defense.
Not anymore. Micah Parsons.
They stink.
Micah Parsons, Dallas Cowboys, not playing in the playoffs.
They don't have interception return yardage. They got like 5 picks,
maybe
but no
Diggs,
yardage.
the ghost of Diggs will come back.
I'm going to take the Chargers.
Okay.
Indiana and Oregon tonight. Nick likes the Hoosiers. I will back that.
Wow, make it 3 for 3. Will it be 4 for 4?
Yes, it will be 4 for 4.
Whoa.
The number one team is going to win it all.
Yep.
Dante Moore, 16.5 more passing yards than Fernando Mendoza.
All right, I'm going to try to middle here. I'm going to go yes, because I think there's a part of me that thinks Indiana might roll tonight, but Oregon will pass a lot late, and Indiana's just going to keep running the ball. So give me Dante.
I think Oregon will pass a lot more than Indiana.
So I will be the only one that will go with Mendoza. No, I don't have a line yet, but I'm going to go. It was only 1 point on Bart, so I'm going to go pick them here for Creighton and St. John.
Well, yeah, I guess I don't want to do something frisky with Nick involved, because I mean, he literally is picking one side or the other. The official line is St. John's -1.5. St. John's -1.5.
I
I guess if he picks, did he pick Creighton?
He picked Creighton.
Let's do an official line then, because I feel like that works, right? Or do you just want to do pick 'em?
I mean, it was pick 'em. Let's just do pick 'em.
God, I have sucked on them. Do you want Creighton to win or lose tomorrow?
What kind of a dumb question is
just
that?
asking because I'm the reverse jinx on them, or I'm a jinx. I'll go with St. John's. Congrats to you, John, and you, Joey.
Thank you, Josh.
There you go.
Go Jays.
Austin Swartz over under points 15.5.
See, Swartz is as big as mine.
I'm gonna go over.
Under.
I'm going to go over.
Nick will take the over. Nebraska. The line on this
3.5. Now, what did Nick do here?
Well, Nick, we had it at 5 because that's what Bart had it at.
He picked Nebraska.
He picked Indiana. So I think
if we move it to 3.5, then he definitely would pick Indiana, right? I mean, if he picked Indiana -5,
true.
yeah, so we can move it to 3.5.
All right, 3.5 it is. That makes it a little more interesting.
Much more interesting. Man, they can't keep doing this, right? I'm gonna go with them though. Give me Nebraska. They do it again.
Give me the Hoosiers. I think it ends tomorrow.
I need to make up point. I'm going to go with Nebraska.
Okay.
Price Sanford over under on points 15.5. I'm going to take the under.
Joey?
I'm going to take the over.
He had a real rough showing on Monday night, right? Against Ohio State.
Well, no one had a big game.
That's
offensively.
true. But he really struggled. He went, where's his numbers at? There it is. 3 for 11 from the field, 3 for 9 from 3, 11 points. Yeah, I'm going to say over here.
Over. Okay. And that is predictions.
It's a good weekend of sports, man. This is a good weekend.
It is.
You got some football to watch. You got some basketball to maybe check in on from time to time.
Some people in this building is going to be happy. Some will be sad.
Wow, that is a great point. Man, I miss the stress of a playoff game.
Hey, you still have Jerry Jones forever.
No, Joey, he's not. Look, that's not how.
I'll be the Cowboys owner for life.
Well, life ends at some point in time.
Until his son takes over.
You know what? And that's going to suck too. Steven's a putz. He's the patsy. Steven's an idiot. Good Lord. You know who's not an idiot, though? Jack Mitchell. Jack Mitchell's not an idiot.
Depends on the day.
I can't sign off on that one.
Hey, come on. Let's talk to him.
I can't sign off on that one. Coming up next, Super Friends Roundtable, 1620 The Zone. Well, this is false advertising.
There he is.
Oh, finally. Gee, his basketball team finally does something good, and now he can just Hollywood us and show up whenever he wants.
Unreal.
Instead of being here on time.
Listen,
You
I got,
dumb.
as is often the case, and I don't know what boring topics you guys were talking about today, but I was talking about a report by the state auditor of give me a minute. The Plains Historical Society in Kimball.
It's getting worse
because the chair of its daughter was on the board. She took the debit card of the Historical Society, went to a vape shop, and bought a what was it, Steve? Do you remember what it was? It was not a diffuser, but it's something that it's for essential oils.
Yeah, some glassy.
Yes. So
well, we've got you beat because we started this hour talking about former Minnesota Viking lineman Matt Khalil and the divorce with his wife. And well, just for those in the audience, I don't want to get into the details. Just Google Matt
Interesting.
Khalil.
Now that we're on a news talk station as well, you get a little bit less.
Well,
less lewd.
listen. I know the audience. I know the KLIN audience. I don't want to get
sides. Yes.
Yeah. So
that's true.
So just Google Matt Khalil's wife. And, I mean, there's nothing. There's no naughty pictures.
No. Yeah, you'll be fine.
Just imagine a couple of Coke cans.
Okay. I thought. Never. Let's move on.
Let's get to the topic.
Well, you challenged us. I mean, you're the one that said, "Oh, this is this exciting thing." Well, we got you beat.
Jack, I got something for you. So we've been starting these lately, the last month and a half, talking about Nebraska basketball. I wanted to ask you a college football broad question because last night, Ole Miss, Miami wins. They go to the national championship. This is a 10 seed tonight. Oregon and Indiana will play for it, and I mean that's a 1 and a 5 seed. So we're looking at higher seeds. But Stuart Mandel in his column today for The Athletic wrote, I used to be one of those people who said college football didn't need to expand the playoff because there aren't more than 4 teams worthy of playing for the national championship. Boy, was I wrong. I think all of us have been wrong to some degree on the idea that more than blank teams could actually win the title. What are we to make of what has unfolded over the course of the last few weeks? Because last year, yeah, Ohio State was an 8 seed, but come on, it was Ohio State, and they were one blown loss over Michigan away from being like a 2 seed in the playoff. That was way different than what we have seen with the Canes.
Yeah, no, I mean, the very obvious answer to what we've seen, and I think you guys have talked about this a lot, is just it's easier. I mean, it's a more even playing field, and for all of the gnashing of teeth about NIL and especially the transfer portal, I think that's been the equalizer in this thing, at least to some degree, right? Kurt Signetti doesn't do what he's doing without the transfer portal, correct? Right. You know,
or NIL.
Or NIL, yeah, either of them, and an evil and essentially a salary across the board now, especially how it is after the House decision. Because now that, there's even more equality. It's not pure equality by any means, but it's closer to that now with the House decision as well. And there wasn't any equality when people had bagmen walking around and giving $100 handshakes and those sorts of things. So, I mean, I think that's the big, probably more obvious than what you were looking for. But like in terms of, I would agree with you, Josh. I didn't expect it to be this dramatic this fast. I really didn't. And this year continues to go on. I think last year started that. This year definitely sped it up. And the way I look at it, while I certainly have my own concerns about NIL and the transfer portal and the way that it's currently run, one of the consequences I definitely like, and that's a little bit of parity, because I'll tell you what, there was a point where I was done watching Alabama and Clemson, where I was done, where I don't care. I didn't care anymore.
You were tired.
I was Clemson, Alabama, the whole Clemson, Alabama, Ohio State, Georgia, maybe even, I know Oklahoma wasn't really winning national championships, but they were always there. But like it was the same 6 teams sort of rotating in that 14 playoff. So this is one part of the impact of all of that I celebrate.
I just hope people don't use this as an excuse to say, well, that's why we should have 16. That's why we should have 18. That's why we should have 24. Because literally the Big Ten has all gone overnight from we've got 12. Oh, let's do 24 and have all the automatic qualifiers. And I think there is a point of diminishing returns. Now, last year, obviously the wonky format with the seeding probably contributed somewhat
definitely
to how it all played out. This year is the stronger argument because you do have a Miami who's gone on the road twice, or, coming from we'll call it the back end of the bracket to get to the finals. Certainly, helps lend some credence to it. Georgia getting upset lends some credence to it. I just hope that people don't use this as an excuse to say, well, that's why we need 16. That's why we need 18.
Learn the wrong lessons.
Because and believe me, if there's a group of people on the face of the earth that will learn the wrong lessons from this, it will be the folks who run college football.
Now, I agree. I mainly agree with you, John, but maybe not for the same reasons. Like, I agree for you. I don't want it to get, I think there might be room for a tiny bit more, maybe, I don't know how, not a lot, but I don't want to go to 24. That said, the reason I don't is because of the impact it would have on the regular season primarily. Like that would be the biggest reason for me. But listen, if you're just taking the playoff in a vacuum and it's 2014 playoff, that still sounds awesome to me. I would love that. I would. Can you imagine?
No,
what do you mean too much? You don't want many teams of first round. What do you mean you don't want?
No, I don't want that.
Here with me on this.
I don't want to see the 7th place team in the Big Ten in the playoff. I'm sorry, there is a point where the ability of teams to play well. I don't want to see that.
This whole people have to deserve what they get in these.
They do. That's what made college football great all these years.
If they don't deserve it, they're going to lose and they're going to be done.
But do we want to watch an 11-1 or 12-1 team play an 8-4 Iowa or an 8-4 Illinois? I don't.
Want to watch George Mason upset Duke in the NCAA tournament? I do.
That is completely different, and you know that. I mean, it's completely different because there's far fewer data points, and those teams they all played 30 some odd games, and that's a true tournament where every conference has an actual entry point to get in.
Okay.
In this tournament, there is not that.
Let's do that then. Give everybody. You don't have that many conferences. You wouldn't have to expand it that much. Let's get Eastern Michigan in there. Come on.
No, I think he's saying do 24 with 10 auto bids. I think that's what you're saying, right, Jack?
No, just include, expand. I mean, to the extent you expand it, put auto bids. If that's the concern, which I don't really think that's the true concern, but
yeah, but we heard how much gnashing of teeth there was just letting two G5 teams in this year. Can you imagine if they let every G5 conference have a team in? There'd be so much more gnashing.
John, I do agree. I do agree with you though. In the end, I think that it would start to really. I think there's a sweet spot in terms of the impact on the regular season. I remember last year watching the regular season and thinking, well, I assumed it was going to make the regular season less valuable. And some games did, right? Michigan and Ohio State was less valuable because of that. There were also some that wouldn't have mattered in other years that did matter a lot. So there was kind of I think there's a sweet spot, and I don't know where that is for sure with the regular season. You're never going to get back to you lose and you're out like we grew up with.
I think the sweet spot, I think we might be there. You could talk me into 16 with no qualms, like where I would, because I like the idea of 16 because it's a clean 16 plays 1 and 15 plays 2, like on and on, right? It's 8 games. It's just a normal, nice, clean bracket, and you don't have to explain anything. And I think that you would still get all of the benefits that we have had over the last 2 years. But Jack, if they stuck with 12 forever, if this was the playoff, I don't think I would ever have any qualms. I really do like it.
I would prefer that they
more home games.
I prefer that they stick with this one at least for a while. Let's let it play out.
Let it breathe.
I agree. You do not have to.
There's no push to do it now.
Or otherwise, any new system you can't do one iteration of it and then judge. everything that happened this time around is going to be an issue. You've got to get a sample size, right, before you make adjustments. And now that said, I think they did do the right thing last year because the seating, they shouldn't have ever done the way they did the seating last year. That was goofy from the beginning. But in terms of expanding that sort of thing, I totally agree with you. Give us, I don't know, what do you guys think? 5 years? 5 years and then reevaluate? Are we all okay with that?
Yeah, at least 5 years.
Yeah, it'd be all right.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Like,
have any issue with that. Get us to 2030. Yeah, that's a good call, Chad.
Yeah, part of it, guys, is just getting used to it too.
Exactly. That's why I thought they made a nice change. The seeding thing was built on an old era where you had a West Coast Conference and you had more power leagues. Like, they fixed that. That's great. I think we're all in agreement. More home playoff games, and I think that solves a problem that you have right now.
Yeah.
After that, I don't really see a whole lot of issues with the number of teams. It's
Josh,
a nice number.
I couldn't agree with you more on the home games. I was watching last night, and I had forgotten that was the Fiesta Bowl. I completely forgot.
We were talking about that earlier.
I was watching. I was like, "Oh, it's the Fiesta Bowl." I would have read. And listen, don't send the mobs after me, but I would have rather on Saturday, January 3rd, we played the Fiesta Bowl and the Orange Bowl and the Rose Bowl as non-playoff games. That's what I would have rather had. There were no games on that day. Right. Or on the, whatever, on some
Friday
other.
the 2nd.
Yeah. Or Friday, Friday the 2nd or another holiday. But I still think those. We've had our discussions about bowls, and I know we disagree on them. But if you're going to keep any of them, at least keep the original ones. People are still going to go to the Rose Bowl, right? No matter who's in it, I would think. What?
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but there were a lot of empty seats at the Orange Bowl last week, the Miami Texas Tech game.
Oregon, Texas Tech.
Yeah, Oregon, Texas Tech. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then again, these things aren't about attendance; they're about the TV
Television.
ratings. Yeah, they're about television.
And the TV ratings are doing fine. So, no, I mean, that's the same with all of these bowls. The attendance is paltry at some of them. It's okay at others, but TV ratings keep them afloat. So
you bring up an interesting point because we just quoted the Citrus Bowl, which was the game that was on opposite the Las Vegas Bowl, and it drew 9 million viewers, biggest non playoff bowl in how many years was it?
Michigan?
Yeah, the Michigan Texas
in
game.
a while.
Huge number. I do wonder if some of that might be a sales point, because right now, the Orange Bowl, the Cotton Bowl, the Peach Bowl, they all want to be relevant because they want to be relevant within the playoff. But I wonder if there might be a sales pitch out there of, hey, look, even if you're not a playoff game, you're still getting a lot of attention, right?
Yes.
If that could be a sales point to the point you're making that, hey, you know what? Let these games be home games. If you want to bid on these and make it part of your bowl game when you get the championship, fine. If not, just contest your game. Put it on the date that, you want to put it on, and you'll get audience. And it will still be there. It won't be an audience of a playoff game, which might be the biggest detraction.
The other thing, John, is branding. You're not going to have somebody like me, who's a college football fan, forget that I'm watching the Fiesta Bowl. What good does that do?
Yeah, do you know what the game tonight is?
No idea. Orange? No, we already had the Orange.
It's the Poulon Weed Eater Bowl.
Who knows? But if those games would have been on Saturday, January 3rd, when I had nothing to do, but the NFL is on, so you can't do it then. But they do anyway, because the Saturday NFL is on. I was so annoyed there were no bowls that day. Not enough bowls. It's a scourge. Why would you not have games on that day? It's putrid. It's horrendous.
Because the transfer portal was open. That's why.
Well, fix the calendar. You don't think if they would have put the Fiesta Bowl on that Saturday night between two non-playoff teams, people would have been watching the crap out of that? Of course they would have. They're already watching all the other ones.
I got a tweet for you, Jack, that I think you're going to enjoy. This is from one of our listeners, Chris, because we were talking about the Nebraska-Indiana game tomorrow. Chris writes, win or lose tomorrow, the Purdue game could have College Game Day in town in February. Have you ever imagined a world where College Game Day basketball edition is at PBA?
I don't think I've ever watched more than 5 minutes of College Game Day.
I think there's a lot of people that don't realize that College Game Day is also a basketball product.
No. Yeah, it'd be cool. Listen, I don't not want it. That would be cool. I don't quite know what that even entails, but yeah, to be If they keep winning, it's inevitable, like it or not. Haters, sorry, but for the time being,
thank you for apologizing.
Nebraska is going to be America's sweetheart, John.
This is like the Patriots after 9/11.
Oh, that's a great example. Put me at the front of the hate train.
It is going to be it's like living life as Northwestern always is what it is, basically. That's how they always are. But I'm the lovable guy. I'm the lovable fan.
There is nothing lovable about
John wants the best for me.
There is
But
nothing
Jack
lovable
on game
about
day, he could be the mascot that gets people to cheer. Hey, look, it's the Nebraska ball mascot, Jack Mitchell.
Does Digger Phelps put a mascot head on, or what do we have for that show?
Again, I have never watched more than a couple seconds of it either, so I don't know what their bits are.
I
think
don't
they
know
probably
what their
shoot a
gimmick
half-court
is.
shot, maybe.
Yeah, I believe there's a half-court shot.
Oh,
I've not seen an episode this year. It probably changes a lot.
Yeah,
it just doesn't quite work the same way as football.
No, it really doesn't.
Well, yeah, because basketball's not a tailgate sport.
It should be.
I mean,
because it's cold.
It's freaking winter time.
Yeah,
you think you
it's
want to
cold.
be?
Here's the good news for you, John. If they, however this season ends with some level of at least getting that postseason win, and then if they come back and start, when they start doing it again next time, it won't be as lovable. It'll be back to. I mean, eventually it'll get old, like every lovable underdog story gets. Signetti's not lovable anymore. At least he's not to me. He probably never was to me, though, so that's probably not fair.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
who are you rooting? Who are you rooting for tonight?
The Ducks. Tonight is the night I'm finally vindicated. It's taken a while for me to be right, but tonight, my theory that Signetti, all smoke and mirrors. This is a complete fluke. Tonight is the night when I finally get my vindication. I said it a while back. It would have been the beginning of last year, but I still could be right tonight. Thanks.
Get Jack his son's Oregon hoodie from 2013 because he's wearing that bad boy tonight.
Right. That every 13-year-old in this entire city had.
Exactly.
I can't. Yeah.
That feels gross. It feels kind of gross that rooting for the team that can't pick a uniform. Just pick a uniform, Oregon.
Yeah, Indiana. Indiana, surprisingly, they have never gone to that, crazy uniform marketing, despite not having a lot of success. That a lot of
don't you forget that? Don't you forget those
Antoine Randall L.
Yeah, that chrome candy stripe thing that they had.
Candy stripe thing, that was terrible.
And then back when Antoine Randall L, it was like that weird. It was like, was it a black or a red helmet?
I believe it was black with a red oval, and it didn't even have the signature IU in it. I think it just had the letters, not like the logo.
Well, that's because they went to the local, sporting goods store and said, we need some helmets with eyes on them.
Yeah, that was
Bloomington Lawlers.
Probably.
Lawlers Custom Sportswear.
It probably did. Something like that. Wow. Jack's going.
Are you surprised? Did you think I was going for Indiana?
Yes.
I honestly didn't know. I mean,
I don't care that much, but and either way, it's an interesting matchup in the national championship game, right? You got the contrasting of John Mellencamp, Indiana, Hardy, Midwest versus Miami, glitzy, all of that. Or you got Oregon and Miami, which are just the two most geographically distant places in all of college sports, almost.
Surprised you didn't go Jan Hammer there around Miami. Oh, Jan Hammer and the Miami Vice theme.
Jack, we got a minute left. Are you
laundry,
the winner tonight? Are you rooting for them in the title no matter what because of the Miami hatred going back decades?
No, I'll still be cheering for my smoke and mirrors theory to be validated if Indiana wins.
Oh, you're rooting for Oregon?
Well, he has to root for Miami because Jack notoriously does not root for conferences.
Cheering. Yes, that's true.
Not the theory. I've explained it on your airwaves so many times, and you keep misstating it, but I don't have time.
Yeah, we got.
That's a misstatement of my theory. I don't. Can I admit something? I can't quite dander up the hate for Miami. Is that a problem?
It's been a long time.
I don't care about Texas. Everybody does, but I don't care.
Okay, that I could. I see. Texas lives on. Okay, don't do that again. He did.
Do they live rent-free?
I will not do that. I will not do that.
Gross. That is so gross.
I don't love them, but I can't quite get the hate up anymore because it's kind of feels like it's bringing back the old school. When you kind of wanted Oklahoma to be a good again.
Well, enjoy the game tonight, Jack. We'll talk to you later.
Yep.
Thank you, guys. There it
Enjoy
is.
the game tomorrow. There it is. The Super Friends Roundtable.
And there's Joey.
And there's Joey.
Oh, I'm here.
Thank you, Joey. Great work today.
Yep. All right. We'll talk to you tomorrow from the CHI Health Center.
Have a great call. Have a great production.
Yep. Blue Jay shoot around at noon.
Blue Jay shoot around at noon. Austin Jacobson.
Go Rams. Go Packers.
Go Rams.
Roll
go
out
Bears,
the barrel.
Go
Pack,
Bills. Go 49ers.
Bears still suck.
Go Chargers. Go Texans. Bye.
See you Monday.